Bitch made Brian. Bitch made Brian.
Yourself, feminine vibe. EVS called you beta, ain't no need to hide. Just stop it, man, don't drag this out. All this drama's only making you doubt. You got a cool comic, yeah, I'll cop it soon. But your behavior won't stop me from dropping that tune. No fake reviews or petty tricks from me. Just do your thing, man, and let it be. This looks dope, can't you see the play? Every second you keep going, more slips away. Potential customers, no, they ain't gonna stay. While you moralize against someone who won't sway. Beach made Brian. Beach made Brian. Beach made Brian. Beach made Brian.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks here, guys.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, we are. What the? Where did Rookie go? What? I haven't been on StreamYard for a bit, and I've not played with stuff. Rookie was just here. I hopefully he let himself in. I don't. Oh man, I don't know what happened, or if he's at home now. Anyway, hi, I'm back. Yeah, okay. Of course you pull that shit literally when I start. Asshole. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Late night, all American beef. I'm on night shift, so it's like perfect. It's like noon for me right now. But anyway, I'm Black Angus. On All American Beef. We're gonna be detracting EVS? Question mark. I saw like the first 30 seconds of his in theater reaction, and I heard some of his trash cast commentary. I'm like, are you smoking crack, nigga? Again? So we'll be discussing EVS's Superman commentary, as well as doing my own spoiler commentary on the film and us comparing. I talked to Rookie about this movie right after I saw it, and he's like, what the hell? But let me see some of my notes here. We also might be talking a bit about, I'm finally getting around to reading some of the comics I own. Aliens versus Avengers, halfway through at least the first 4 issues. I'm not sure if there's more, but what a story it is in 2 issues already. So that's fun to catch up on. Also talking about some Shane Gillis at the ESPYs. If you hadn't seen, we'll play some of those clips. Phenomenal. Comedy is making a comeback. And give some Sandman counter. I'll probably do that first, actually. So unfortunately, Neil Gaiman is going through some sort of sexual abuse, rape, whatever. Litigation. I don't know if it's criminal or not, but you know, it's basically been canceled. So it wrecked whatever the plans were for Sandman. They just like cut it down to 2 seasons. And the first parts come out. So I'm like, oh yeah, I do like what little I've seen of that show. I like it's just an odd, weird tone. It's an Englishman. I like American Gods too. So it's interesting getting back into that show because I like it's just a very unique tone. I've read probably 3 or 4 issues of Sandman, and it feels pretty faithful to like the tone of it so far. So yeah, before I continue though, be sure to like, subscribe, all that if you're new here. Be sure to be commenting so I see it and chit chat with you. But yeah, Katie, she was in here and said, no, I'm gonna miss this live. I'll be asleep. She says, gotta see you and Ricky back. Of course, I'll be watching tomorrow. Hope you have a great show. Thank you. Lastly, thank you for always being different and felt attracted to me. I am a lucky lady. Good night, y'all. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. As Ricky can attest, I am who I am on stream, on camera, in DMs. So whatever's going on with you, if there's more Richard shit, or I'm kind of in the dark with a lot of this gay opping, this new era of war campaign gay ops. So if anything's been going awry, if there's more I haven't seen of backbiting, you're caught in the crossfires of, sorry for that. But yeah, Keely Channel, thank you for popping in, bringing the beef here, my friend, and Papa Cotton as well. I've never had you on stream, I don't think, Papa, but if you want to come on hang out, let me know. I'll drop you the link because I'd be down for it. Also, we might talk a bit about Epstein because that's just hilarious. I am Groyper adjacent. So I didn't vote for Trump. I was rooting for Kamala because I am an accelerationist. I want things to get worse because, and I'll say this, if you look at history of America, all the great innovations of our society, of our government, of our industries only have happened from calamity, from being pressed. World War II and the industry we created from that took over the world for about a quarter of a century at least, being at the forefront. That's a product of the Depression and our lowest point economically. American Revolution, we were like dog shit. Our military was dog shit. It was just hobbled together, hodgepodge. It's just, the audacity of our elites that were directly invested, some on the front lines, challenging the Empire of Britain for a kind of rightful claim of, taxes, because they're trying to recruit money for the expenses of defending the colonies from the French. So, American Revolution, that was us, like, wasn't a height of it's like spiritually might be like a height of America from our impetus, but we definitely weren't like a leader in anything. It's just, it's kind of a cost analysis that the British gave up. Like, God, this is just taking too long. It's a drain. Fuck this. Bigger fish to fry. Now they regret it, but back then, I mean, it kind of made sense. I'm trying to think some other big moments, but yeah, like pretty much any time you look at like America advancing, taking a step forward and leading the world, or advancing rank, it's always a response to bad things or a threat in some way. So I think if Kamala got in, whatever her agenda was actually, what it would be with the Democrats would be knowing that, like, even if they won this, they're on the backslide with the younger generation, especially men. I think like that would wake people up more because I think people have really fallen into complacency with Trump winning. Like, yeah, we're back, and they ignore like everything that is not America first, not great for America first, just America first as a general idea. this ice raid stuff is a gimmick. It's visual fodder to obfuscate reality. It's like, oh, look, they're taking care of mass immigration problems. They're deporting everybody. It's all a scam. They're actually going to bring in more immigrants than they deport with H-1Bs. Elon using this fight to gin up this America party to stand for America when he's trying to import, when he's firing people en masse at Tesla, but then flooding us with Indians. And they bring in more H-1Bs than they fire Americans. Maybe that's like an overlap, so they get trained up and they can fire the rest of the Americans. I don't know, but they're bringing more than they fire, so it's like they're bringing a surplus than they need. Just every step has been kind of a lie. Every time you think, oh, we're winning, you're really not. It's all just for the billionaires who aren't even like, it's not billionaires of like Americanish, just globo homo billionaires. So that's a big problem. That's why I wanted Kamala to win, because it would have just been an outright anti-American acceleration downward. And then people would like notice they're in a boiling pot. But now everyone's like, yeah, MAGA hats here, we're winning. Oh, look, they got rid of Joy Reid. We are winning. No, they're making tiny concessions to appeal superficially to the base while they poison us. So I'm very pro Kamala in that regard. That's why I wanted to win. But this Epstein thing is just blew up in their face. It's so great. Hey, stop! Look! Don't look behind the curtain. What are you? And now we got Wall Street Journal is going to get sued by Donald Trump for reporting. Apparently, I let me look this up. See, Trump, Epstein. What's been going on? Okay, this is a Wall Street Journal. I don't know if I'll be able to see this whole thing. And probably block. Yeah, it's got a restriction. Okay, but this is from NPR, so I probably basically have the same thing. Trump threatens to sue Wall Street Journal over article about his Epstein ties. Let me pull this up so I can show you. Is this the no? Again, I'm not used to these new buttons on stream. I think they updated like right after my last stream. All right, here we go. Let me make sure how this looks. Maybe that's good. We'll see. Anyway, controversy surrounding President Trump and the so-called Epstein files has moved back to the legal system as he threatens to sue Wall Street Journal and wants some case files released. Oh, now all of a sudden there's files to release. Okay. Hopefully it's more than the fake binders you gave to influencers on your payroll. The Journal published an article Thursday that claims then real estate mogul Trump contributed a lewd birthday letter to a compilation given to billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein in 2003, 3 years before Epstein was arrested for prostitution-related offenses. That article claims that among the materials in an Epstein investigation years ago was a book of birthday letters from 2003, including one with the outline of a naked woman where the signature Donald can be seen. The letter purportedly concludes with "Happy birthday, may every day be another wonderful secret." Oh, God. In a True Social post, Trump called the story false, malicious, and defamatory, and said the Wall Street Journal parent company News Corp and Rupert Murdoch, chairman emeritus of News Corp, were warned that they would face legal action if the story was published. Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they will be sued. Shortly after that post, Trump also said he would direct Attorney General Pam Bondi to release some files from Epstein's criminal case, so not the full court records. Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Bondi said online Thursday that she'd be prepared to move in court to have these documents released Friday. He's faced backlash from his base after a review released last week by the Justice Department and FBI found no evidence to support conspiracy theories about the life and death of the financier. Epstein was arrested again in 2019 on federal charges, trafficking children, but died by suicide in his jail cell before he was tried in court. Though his death was ruled suicide, some supporters and others believed he was killed to silence him from revealing the names of powerful men who took part in sexual abuse of underage girls. Up until the memo was released a week ago, Bonnie, Trump, and other administration officials had pushed various conspiracies and claimed that the files exposing the truth about the sex offender would be published. Following the revelation that there were no Epstein files, much of the bad news cycle has been influenced by the president's own actions. After telling his supporters to essentially move on from the story last weekend, according to the Journal, Trump's interview for the story happened Tuesday, one day before he called those who question the narrative around Epstein's death and are calling for more conspiracy stupid and foolish. Oh my God. This is fell for it again, huh? But man, that's Trump for you. That's your golden age of America. Transparency, beautiful stuff. Oh my God, I will eat again before I join. Jesus. I'm wait. Am I pro Hunter Zelda or is someone in the audience? What are you talking about? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's running countries like a business. I mean, that works on the economic side. Whatever top business people, your Secretary of Treasury, whatever, fine. They can view the world that way. But the president and the Senate, they should be thinking about like the constituents. They should be thinking about the body politic, the people. Oh God, we got one of these bots. Maverick 77 Defender says Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot. Anyone who's not a feminist is a sexist. Yeah, we know. Hopefully you're a real person. I don't know. You just dropping that title and then like quotes is a red flag to say the least. Sorry, bud. Sorry if you're real. It's just it's kind of a calling card. What do you mean, old man Angus? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Ricky? Okay, hi. Hello, Maverick. Hope you're doing good. I'm waiting on Rookie. He's got to stuff his fat face with Subway cookies and Gilmore cups before he comes on. I don't know. It's late night. Just masticate on stream, being a faggot. I'm enjoying some Coke, vanilla Coke, actually. No alcohol. I was going to grab a Star Wars bottle of Coke. They got these Star Wars bottles with like Mando and Boba Fett, and Grievous was on one. I'm like, shit, Grievous. Oh man. And I saw a bottle of vanilla Coke. It's really fucking hard to find vanilla Coke, I've noticed. So I had to grab me a bottle because I love that taste. Yeah, of course, Maverick. I mean, who owns all these actors? Like, that's I hate when people put a lot of stock in what actors say because they're literally paid to be fake people. That's their job, is to be fake. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, what is the inherent act of the role of their job? It's mimicry, it's faking. Reverend Self-Destruct says, shout out. So we got a detractor in the house. What's up? Stray Beans. Oh man, how are you doing? How are you doing, Stray Beans? Did you see Superman? I want to know if you're gushing over it compared to Man of Steel. You know what? Actually, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this before he comes on. Interesting stuff here. Because I said it before the movie came out, I saw the trailer, like, this is, a far cry, say what you will, about Snyderverse, but there is a reverence for the heroism, for the iconography, even if he's interpreting them strangely or oddly or heretically. There is adoration, to say the least. However skewed you think the representation is, he reveres these heroes in the iconography. And maybe that makes him get a little bit lost in the sauce, aside from his narrative, but I really appreciate that. And also, there's a lot of restraint. You know, talk what you will about his third acts being a fucking nightmare slog, like Transformers shit on the wall. There's like he definitely restrained himself as trying to tell character stories and human conflict, human drive, motivation. Do, do you if you saw it, Stray Beats, I'm just wondering if you might at the least look a bit more kindly upon Man of Steel. It's like, he actually tried to tell a narrative and not just TikTok, you know, fucking sliding reels all fucking day, you know. That's what Superman felt like. It feels like all these unrelated scenes. They're like, yeah, they're the same actors playing the same roles, but they don't feel aware of each other, like shot to shot. It's a very frustrating film for me. I'm not a Superman guy. I would love the Snyderverse to be buried, but when you make shit like Superman, no, it's not going to happen. It's going to just hang around. It's like people are going to be like, you just don't get the brains of Snyder. And like, yeah, they got a point when you're making Superman 2025. It just irks me. Jimmy, sorry, you just catch me off guard with some of these. 60% of Americans will have election deniers on the ballot this year. Join me, microphone support the champions running against them every single. Cool. Yeah. Shane says, I saw it. It was fine. Nothing life changing. See, even that, like, there's Star Wars, you know, I'm a big Star Wars guy. And I see a lot of this new stuff, and it's like, I kind of miss Last Jedi. I hate that movie, but like I really hated it. I felt it. You know, now it's like a bad Star Wars thing. Like, oh yeah, of course. You took this seriously. And that, like, it, you know, once you accept that level, it's just like everything's kind of fun. You just can't wait to see how bad it'll be. And so that's where Star Wars is for me now, which is unfortunate. Where it's not, I'm not investing like, how are they going to change the game? I'm just like, what are they going to try next? I can't wait. How crazy will it be? And then other times I'll have to kind of defend shit. We're like, well, I don't like that. I wouldn't go that way, but I mean, it's open there in the canon of Lucas to go that way, or it's mimicking it. It's echoing it. It's when that's a precedent, you can't double back and like the lesbian witches having their Virgins twins. People cry about that, but I'm like, well, I mean, you've had Anakin. Anyway. Yeah, I agree. It sucks. I really think just the colorfulness and the lack of a sullen tone really blinds people to think, oh, it's so much better than Snyderverse because his are like drab. And it's like, yeah, that definitely sticks out, but I don't think anything in Superman 25 will. How do I say this? I said this to a guy at the comic store. Christopher Reeves or the guy in the middle or Henry Cavill. I think they like say something portraying the character. I think like they have something that stands out. Motivation and purpose, drive. This Superman is just like, you know, Superman. Well, here he is, new time. And there is, how to say this? It's like Star Wars, all right? When you come into Star Wars, if the sequels are your first time in Star Wars, you're going to echo back. You're going to go back and see, well, this is 7, so let me see 1 through 6. And I think if you start with 7 and go back, you're like, you're fine. Then you start seeing 8 and you're like, this makes no sense. And then 9 is just like, oh man, this whole block means nothing. Just forget it. I would say it even worse is the Superman. It's like if this is your introduction to the character on film, you're not gonna have any like, oh man, that stuck with me. You gotta fight for good because like it could be as dumb as like Thor in the comedy. It's like that's what heroes do. It's like it's purposely corny because it's a comedy. Because he's trying to find like his drive, and so he's just saying like empty platitudes, and that kind of says something when you know the arc of Thor and what he suffered. He's lost his mom, he's lost Loki, he's going to lose Asgard. So it's like it kind of works, and it's a reinvention. But yeah, I just don't think Superman 25 says anything for the character. I just think it's a hodgepodge of like, oh, I know that's from that writer. That's from remember that issue? Like, it's just kind of like comic member berries, and there's just things happen. There's imagery. Like Mr. Terrific's pretty cool, but like he stands out more than Superman. That's not good. Killmonger is more iconic than Black Panther in Black Panther. That's not good. So that's what I'm saying about like that's the biggest thing I'll say is it's like Achilles' heel is like it says nothing for him. If you're
When it sounds like you're saying that even like when he saves people, that doesn't really stand out as very much, and that's probably because the people that he saves or whatever is I think it's just done because of the lack of saving in the last few Superman movies. So it's like we got to make sure he saves people, even if it's not as memorable or cool or something.
Yeah, it's this is me not being a Superman fan, and you make me give credence to the shitty fucking Reeves movie. I hate that fucking movie. I like his presentation as like the dichotomy of Clark and Kal-El. Like he's really good at that. That sticks out. But it's so corny. Aside from the effects, it's just like cornball bullshit. But I'll say this: Richard Donner went into it of like, no, this isn't like a joke. Like we're making this like it's serious. Like this is a matter of fact in this world. It's not a joke. I don't, it's like bringing that tone, and then Batman '89 coming out, escalating the seriousness to be had with comic stories. I appreciate them for what they are, but like I leave that. It's thanks.
Well, it's like there's humor. There's a lot of humor in those movies that weren't as ridiculous as the humor is nowadays. Like, he saves a cat from a tree, and then the girl's like, "Oh, thank you," and she's like, "A fine man saved my cat. What'd I tell you about lying?" And you hear her get like beat off screen for a sec. That's like infamous. Or even when like Lois gets picked up by him flying for the first time, and he's like, "I gotcha." She's like, "Me? Who's got you?" Like, what? That's like a normal reaction, but that's kind of funny. I've seen it for the first time. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
they know where to put it.
I still have not seen Hancock. I've watched like 20 minutes, just like kind of.
I would love to watch. You need to see it because I want to know what you think about it. I think I liked that movie, but I don't think it's a good movie necessarily. And it's been a long time since I've seen it. It's back in the Mamma Mia days, so I don't know.
Yeah. Let me see. Turn out when Green Lantern's put mittens on the kaiju, Fortress Solitude is full of quirky robo cheddar. Pass. I didn't mind the mittens part. What's really okay, so a couple of henchmen for Lex. Lex has his iconography in this world as like a Musk type, Bezos type. He's a man of industry in the modern day sense. So
it actually sounds like a low bar considering he created a universe, but
that,
he's basically a god. He's basically a god, but
somehow he figured out to make a pocket universe, and inside the pocket universe is access to a black hole, and there's like an anti-proton river. And this is where he's storing like bad guys the government like can't directly attack. So like Luthor's like put him away in his pocket universe. It's kind of, I'm glad you pointed out. It's like you don't really get and maybe the public will know about that, sure, but he has the ability to do that before we even introduced to him. It's already.
Well, what would his motivations even be for anything if he just has unlimited resources through creating a universe? Like, why can't he create two? if he created one. And so I don't know. It's like, what would he ever need? He's, that would become that question essentially. He's already God in the first movie.
I would be like,
we
why
see.
don't you just go to a universe where there is no Superman? And
Or
could
why
be
don't you just
God.
push Superman in a universe and then close it?
Either
Done.
way, yeah.
Hey, Superman, can you check this out real quick? There's a damsel in distress in there.
Well,
whoops.
okay, well,
you're
that
done.
might be the hubris. That might be the pride of Luthor. Is like, no, I'm not just gonna like brush him under the rug. Like, I'm going to take him out because I will know. No one else can know, but I
No,
will
but
know.
they make him. But they make him the kind that you said that he like kept all these people or like ex-girlfriends or bloggers, like
yeah, she wrote a bad blog about me. Yeah, that's literally
and then they escape at the. So it's like he is that type of he is retarded, I guess.
Yeah, no, he's petty, and so it's like if he's that petty to throw like a blogger into his eternal pocket prison, he's not gonna let Superman slide and just go somewhere else.
I'm fine with him having flaws like that, but I guess I wish it was different flaws.
Anyway, he's got two henchmen.
Sorry for the tangent.
And
but
they never explain, like, again, he's got pocket universe, but it doesn't mean anything. It just means he has like a folder on his computer.
Monkeys.
It doesn't mean anything on its own. But somehow he has a kaiju, but it's like dog size. It's in a cage, but then they let it out and it just starts growing. And so that's what's terrorizing the city in the day. When Superman comes in to save the day, he like stops its foot from crushing him. It's like slowly going to, press him into the ground, but he's holding its foot. And there's a dog who just keeps barking at him, which is like, he's like, go on, shoot. But it's like, okay, a dog infers intelligence. And it looks like it has a collar, so it's probably owned by someone. So it's just like some stubborn, dumb dog unaware of the bigger scheme of things. Fine. Like they're trying to do a little humor. I think it's just misses the mark, but whatever. But then later in this fight, with all this property damage, like they make a point where he like really puts in an effort to stop one building from being hit. And are you okay, folks? Because like the windows got broken by the flames. And then more property damage happens. And he wastes his time to save a fucking park squirrel. Not like a Chippy, my pet squirrel that I tamed, or it's just a random fucking squirrel. They make a point to save it. I don't know if this was James Gunn trying to make up for Guardians 3 and everyone crying about computer animals being hurt.
I think it's a combo of that and the reaction to Snyder's ones where the lack of saving things. So he's like, it's kind of like Superman's so good he'd even save a squirrel.
I think that's just
that's
fucking
the angle.
retarded because it's the even Man of Steel with all that, like, yeah, you can say you could like leave the area, you just punch people through buildings, causing sure, but it's also a young Superman that is coming into his own, so maybe he's not thinking about the bigger picture in that immediacy. But also, it's like, well, I'm facing the threat to the Earth that's trying to terraform the entire planet.
We could argue his plan is destroy the threat that is trying to kill everyone and everything. I don't know about all the other stuff. I'm just trying to eliminate the things that are trying to kill us. So
yeah,
there
it's
you
like
go.
This guy is right in front of him. That's the argument you can make. This is like, of all the things you waste time saving. So there's that. That's just irritating.
Well, that'd actually be funny. That'd be a funny point, or maybe even a good point, literally in the film where it's like he saves the squirrel, but then like 3 children are killed instead, and it's like, in the time you saved the squirrel, you did the wrong thing. You did the wrong trolley. It's Superman.
It'd be
you
like
picked the squirrel instead of the children.
It'd be like Ice Song 2. You let Chad Rand crush that cosplayer's head. Something. Yeah. There's never really a cost in this. That's the thing. Is like, it gets to the point where it's like, oh, there's a rift because we couldn't close this Puck Universe portal, and so it's going to spill into our world, and so it's causing this rift that's ripping through Metropolis and destroying shit. So that's like a distraction. It's a big problem Superman has to face, but he's also getting attacked by Ultraman.
I hate that. That's like a small part of the movie without even seeing the movie. But like that's not even the major thread of the movie, right? That's just one of the many things that happens, right? That's like a little.
So I said this, I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. This movie is there's so much all over to just like, what the fuck was
It
this? How
sounds
can
like
you praise it?
it sounds like 7 different movies.
This movie is fucking woke. Now, I haven't watched the Nerdrotic Pierce Morgan clip yet. I'm going to pull it up before we look at EVS. But this movie is woke in a secondary way. All right. So it's not the obvious, like, woke, nagging woman, wagging your finger about misogyny or patriarchy. None of that. It's all the imagery of people. He never saves white people unless it's a woman. And it's just full of brown people all the time. In the pro Superman sense. Yeah, like the only time he's assaulted, like in that shot, people throwing shit at him, it's a white guy that hits him in the back of the head. His adopted father is a fat slob crybaby who the mom's always like, oh, he's just a pile of mush. So they either like villainize in subtle ways or effeminize every white person, or Lex Luthor, he's a bad guy. Ultraman's a clone, Superman, a retarded clone, so he's bad. They're kind of stuck with Superman being white, but otherwise it's just kind of like the Batman. I love the Batman, but that's a problem aesthetically in the Batman. Everyone white's bad besides Batman and Alfred, you know. Ryan Kinnell was totally right, but he'll never go full bore racist like he should be, you know. Reasonably racist, you know. I'll be the racist for y'all. I'll be the brown racist for you. But yeah, like his, and I talk about all this calamity and it missing the tone, because his lowest point emotionally isn't even with Lois when he's like hollering at her out of frustration in their interview from that trailer. It's not that. That's definitely something lurking of like, is this a good relationship? Can we work this out? Because obviously they have like really differences of opinion philosophically. But the brown guy that helps him out of the hole in the trailer, he's a falafel guy. He has like a cart on the street, and he's like said hi to Superman. He's had a nice interaction, so he likes Superman. So Lex Luthor has been tracking him this whole time, and when he takes him to the pocket dimension, try to get him to talk, he plays Russian roulette with the revolver with the brown guy, the falafel guy. Round 2, he blows his head off, and that's the lowest point for Superman. Is falafel guy dies, you know, some fucking immigrant.
Where else am I supposed to get my falafels? No,
not Pa Ken or Ma Ken or Lois or Jimmy Olsen or Crypto, some random fucking brown person. And then you got this weird hodgepodge of
if
Ukraine.
he did his taxes for him, maybe that would be a reason, you know.
I think it's this weird hodgepodge of Palestine, Ukraine, where it's like this Slavic Serbian, I think he's a Serbian actor, playing this like crazy haired like Putin guy, but he's way more bombastic, and they're trying to like take this spot of land, and they've been thwarted before by Superman before the movie starts, and they're about to like invade again, and it's just like it's all these militarized white guys and their tanks and vehicles and guns with just a horde of brown people with like pots and pans and pitchforks or sticks. And that's where like,
we will cook you to death.
And they have the shot where like the guys are like closing in. Like obviously these people aren't a real threat militarily, and they're surrounding them. And there's a kid with the flag, and this one guy's got his gun on his fucking head about to shoot him, which is a real problem in Israel. They slaughter children. Not even talking about the bombing, but they directly shoot these kids for no reason. He threw a rock. He was a threat to the wall. Like that's the excuse they'll make. These people are evil too, but it's just so confounded. And it's so like cartoonishly villain without any build up to make sense of it. And this is like a side plot because this whole conflict is actually ginned up by Lex Luthor to try to get like a cut of the land once they take it. I guess to be his own like Doctor Doom, like have his own Latveria or something. I don't know, but
he has his own pocket universe. What's he need a little island for a puny island?
Lex Luthor ginned this whole conflict up by supplying all these billions of dollars of weapons over years to Baravia to take this land because he wanted Superman to intervene and break sovereignty of all these nations. So then he would get the Pentagon and the US to intervene and thus contract Luthor to take him out. He needs the public against him. And so that's what's going on with that whole conflict, why it's happening. He's ginned it up to
For some reason, I feel
their
like
opinion.
it'd be maybe smarter of the character if like there was already different countries having conflicts and they created their own Superman counter, and Lex uses the opportunity to do whatever. Like instead of it sounds like I'm gonna cause this extremely long-term plan in order to maybe get Superman killed, and then I'll have land a little bit, and it seems like kind of lame motivation, I guess, for all that. Instead of like using what he knows to,
wait, Reverend
do
Self-Destruct.
something.
Yeah. Me getting back to this, I'm just as scatterbrained as this movie. Yeah. Sandman is something I'll probably get to. I touched on it briefly at the start before he came in. Yeah, I'm watching the show again. I never finished season 1. I started like 2 or 3 times and I'd like get distracted, watch something else, and I'm like, fuck, what was going on? So I have to restart and slog through the first episode. I like it. I'm on episode like 8 or 9 now. But I want to talk about it because it is irritating. I've only read a little bit of the comics, but it feels pretty faithful adaptation so far from the comics. But god damn, there's just so many fucking black people that's like, it really sticks out. Because it's an English show, like for the most part. There's American stuff, but it's like in English. Don Gaiman's English. And I'm just like, is there this many fucking black people in England? I know like Europeans ask us about America because of TV, and I'm seeing this and it's like, it just stands out so much. Like they have scenes where they're going back for like a 400 or 500 year storyline of this guy. It's like he's made immortal. And it's like, we'll meet back here every 100 years. And he's like so surprised, like, wow, I'm not dying. This is crazy. He's like, so do you want to die yet? And he's like, no. It's like this kind of like Job, not barter, but like wager between him and death about people's drive or whatever. I don't know. It's just like an experiment. Basically, he's watching in real time. And but yeah, even in like 13 or 1400s England, they got fucking black people in this bar and shit. And it's like, what? And his sister, they race swapped her to be black. She looks beautiful, the actress, but it's just like, and then he's got like this assistant who's black. She's got like elf ears. And the Vortex is a black girl, and she's actually the daughter of this woman from like 100 years ago when he got captured and couldn't like do his sleep stuff properly. So she was one of these like long-term lethargy people that slept for like decades in his absence. And it's just like, oh my god. And I don't know about Desire, but he's like a totally like gay boy, where he's like, it's a guy, but he's so like pretty. Not even like a trans way necessarily. It's just like he's got like really nice short hair and wearing earrings and like an open jacket with no shirt. And it's just like, I'm not anti-gay, but it's just like I have my limits. It's like I'm more on the Spartan gay side. And if like you want to get me on board, you got to have like feminine, not effeminate. There's a difference. So I can see how this would be off-putting for just the normal audience, but it's like it tests me sometimes. But there's this episode in the middle so far that got me. I think it's kind of a contained episode where this guy's got the ruby that can kind of like grant wishes or dictate people or something. He goes to this diner, starts kind of observing the waitress and her interacting with these regulars. And he starts like interfering with their perspectives, and they start being honest, and so then they all start fucking each other, but then they start killing each other or killing themselves, and they feel it pretty grotesquely, and it's hard for me to watch because there's between Saw, where you're trying to survive, there's like a goal, fuck, this hurts, but I gotta do it to try to live, versus you're crazy and you're maiming yourself for the fun of it because you're wacko. they capture that quite well, or it's like it's really off-putting. So it took me a minute to get through that episode. But some of these perceptions are like the end goal of like these twists. It's good. So I've already watched some American Gods, so I do have an affinity thus far for gaming projects. Also, I guess he was a writer on Beowulf, and I love that movie. So I guess I'm a gaming guy. On top of it's one of the most like revered comic stories in literature, not just comics. So I feel it's kind of required viewing to see like kind of the epitome of the art form. One of the heights up there with Alan Moore's Watchmen and stuff. So that's why full scope, why I'm enjoying it, why I'm indulging it. I assume it'll end kind of like undercut though, because of the court case stuff that Gaiman's dealing with, his sex stuff, and them canceling him for it before he even gets like the court decision on these proceedings, if he's guilty or not, or if it's a smear. Yeah, Netflix, yeah. But I do plan to read the whole story too. It's only 75 issues, so I'll get to it eventually. Yeah, Rebirth. I'll talk about that another day because I think it has. I called it. I was like, this is gonna be woke when I saw Scarlett Johansson, all the earrings. I'm like, that's gonna be woke. Not woke in the obvious way. It's not like Captain Marvel or something, but there's like narrative parts where it's like, yeah, that is woke, but most people won't notice it. It's just popcorn. It's stupid, but I feel they're putting themselves in a bind with what they did with the Jurassic World trilogy into this movie. It feels like they're trying to reset. I feel like they're aware of getting back to the basics in some ways, even though they're continuing this like monster hybrid shit narrative. It's a mixed bag. I think Gareth Edwards was a good directing choice aesthetically. He had a lot of restraint compared to the previous films that I appreciated. It wasn't so much of just like, silliness, but he didn't fall into the stupid trope of the T-Rex saving the day. I love that. They could have went that way. They did some, I don't know if it's necessarily fits the brain capacity of the dinosaurs, but there was some interesting like horror tricks there, or just film tricks of like, oh god, there's like a big sleeping T-Rex and he kind of sleeps like a doggy, like that was funny, kind of disarms you, and then just like fucking disappears. And I'm like, what? Oh man, that's cool. It was a good mixed bag. The wokeness, I'll say, is the side plot is you're following like American Mexican family. It's not quite clear they're brown of some kind, and they do this like yearly boat trip across the sea. But this area around the equator has been like kind of like the Antarctic. It's like a no-go zone. So supposed to be patrols by all the world governments, because this is like the last area of dinosaurs. Because for whatever reason, dinosaurs can't just live around the world anymore arbitrarily because of the oxygen content or some bullshit. So they're limiting the dinosaurs to the equator now. So they're making them more finite instead of like, oh, dinosaurs roam fucking the winter plains of Wyoming.
By the end of the shitty movie you made me watch, they're like, oh, they're living in peace with all the Earth's modern animals. They're doing just never mind.
We'll just have to make do with pterodactyls living on New York skyscrapers, like.
One of the stupidest things with the Jurassic World series is like we just watched the Jurassic World recently to refresh a little with it, and it's like they're like, oh no, the people are so bored with dinosaurs, but clearly, but like when like people see the stupid T-Rex and the raptors, like, oh boy, clap my hands, I love it. Like clearly people are there for the dinosaur shit. Like a lot of the people that like the Jurassic World movies are like, oh, look at the dinosaurs, they're so fucking awesome. And then but they'll also say they'll also say at the same time, people are getting pretty bored with dinosaurs. It's like, no, they aren't. You are all literally
$1 billion
clapping like
every
seals.
Movie.
You're clapping like seals just to see the dinosaurs on the screen. You don't even care if it's good like the original Jurassic Park. Like you just want to see a fucking dinosaur on the screen, like retards. And so like, but they don't understand their own like, loop that they do here. They don't make any sense.
That is the thing. Okay. So the basically the plot of Rebirth is Scarlett Johansson's like a mercenary, ex-military, whatever, and she's gotten called up to work on this thing for like retrieval or something. She's gonna get paid like 10 figures. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, like 10 million, whatever. So she's got to throw together a crew of old buddies, and they're going to extract. So they need to get blood samples from air, land, and sea dinosaurs, large air, land, and sea dinosaurs. And this old facility where the D-Rex is, the Rancor Xenomorph T-Rex hybrid thing. Also, by the way, the star of the movie is the D-Rex lab, and there's also other hybrids and shit. They got this D-Rex, and why this place goes under and why I have to like evacuate this island and just scrap it is a Snickers wrapper got caught up in the door. It got sucked in the door. That is a real plot.
That's so stupid.
This multi-billion-dollar initiative, just this one island for its research and development, making hybrids to wow people for the parks. This is taking place in like 2005, so this is in between Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. This scene, yeah, it just they totally got fucked because of a Snickers wrapper got sucked into the door and jammed it.
So wait, the Snickers wrapper gets sucked into the door, and
Jams
that does what? It
gets free.
A wrapper jams a door, like a heavy door,
like a heavy like computer.
It
open,
jams
close.
the door.
Yeah,
and it unleashes every dinosaur.
And the warning is just on like one computer. It's like the door's not closed. It's not like a
wait,
Mayday, Mayday. It's just one computer's like, hey, the door's not closed.
Does it unleash like just the one creature or all the dinosaurs?
Just the one creature, but it's like the ultimate freak hybrid, you know.
That's really retarded.
Yeah, so that is what went awry. Now the dinosaurs are dying, and so
it's like you can already tell that they're trying to do the look, mankind's fuck ups again, derp. But it's like, the other movies made an effort to like make it make some type of sense, like. We spared no expense, but you don't really have like the amount of personnel maybe for it. You're kind of ignoring the fact that there's a storm coming, so you're not doing all the proper precautions you already know you should do and your people are telling you to do. Like, that's man kind of fucking up right there. And it's, but no Snickers wrapper, and now it all fucked up. See? Same thing. It's the same. One and the same. It's just Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and so
Hubris.
this island went down, and so they just left it, and they have all these weird hybrids. So they got like a raptor pterodactyl, which is pretty cool looking. I almost thought it was a real dinosaur. It's fucking cool. It's got like a raptor feet. It's raptor size, maybe a little bigger, but it's got like wings, so it's like the worst of both worlds. But that's so Scarlett is called up to lead this insertion team to retrieve 3 samples, air, land, and sea, of big dinosaur blood.
Sounds like a video game plot.
Because they want to make, this pharmaceutical company wants to make heart medicine. And so what's stupid is they're like, oh, we can't like do this with the samples from like fossils or whatever. It's like, you made the shit from fossils.
I was about to say, didn't like in Jurassic World 2, didn't they make it a point where like all these different countries in fact are creating dinosaurs? Like when we get to Jurassic World 3, they're all over the place because people are making new ones. Like,
yeah, like they retrieved the Indominus Rex bone to make like, I think the Indoraptor, or
like you have all the material. You don't need much. You pretty much winged half of it with other DNA anyway. So like, why can't you like grow? Yeah. You said it's for heart medicine. They grow a heart or some shit. I don't know. Like, that should be simple. That should be simple by comparison.
Already falls on its own face, but this museum guy, they want him to go for some reason because he's a dinosaur expert. But so I guess because he knows about fossils. Here's the thing.
Is he supposed to be our Dr. Grant?
He runs a museum, but it's like going down because dinosaurs are boring.
That's what I was saying. That's retarded. It's like, but they're not though, because nobody would be bored by dinosaurs because that's retarded. Like,
yeah. And so for some reason they want him to go too. So he is like the dino guy on the team.
Well, he's supposed to be the Dr. Grant villain,
Yeah.
I assume. The guy who I know about dinosaurs. Do you?
I'll say this. It's a flawed take completely, but there's hints of trying to get back to the magic of dinosaurs, because like he is there and he's kind of like our avatar, like a normal guy, and he's seeing the magic, like the titanosaurs, and this like kind of like mating courtship of these two dinosaurs, and it's just like, oh my god, he gets to touch one. It's just like, oh, so it's like it's aware of like getting back to like, no, these are magical. The existence of them would just be awe-inspiring. So there's
no, because that gets retarded. Because let me guess, when the like, I don't know, the dangerous ones that are trying to kill them, he's like, yeah, kill them. Yep.
No.
And does he say no, don't? In fact, let me die.
Neither. It's just because like he survives an attack from one of the pterodactyls, the big fuckers, in this like room. But anyway, the woke part is they have this whole narrative where it's like a dad and his two daughters, and the daughter has a boyfriend with them on this trip, and he's like a lazy bum, but he does like risk his life once or twice to save his girlfriend or the guy's daughter. So it's kind of like this weird male bonding where he's like, he like doesn't like him and thinks he's a piece of shit, doesn't see his daughter sees him, but then like he actually risks his neck once or twice for him. So he kind of sees like, hey, don't like beat yourself up, because then you'll believe it, the shit you say about yourself. And so there's a weird male bonding thing going on there, but not too much. And it's just like, it's like this contained, like a father is okay if it's like a single father that really has to revert back to the authority of the mother and or the state, because it seems like he's not with his wife, the mother of these kids. You don't really get full detail, but that's like the wokeness of it that I took away. I'm like, no one's gonna pick up on that, but that's a feminist controlled narrative there of like, well, fatherhood's good if it's contained. That just irked me, but outside of it, they did fine. I really hated. They try to make the kid like comedic relief because he's like a stoner, and it just never landed. Is irritating. And also, they have the daughter. She's all like quiet after experiencing 2 dino attacks, because they get attacked by a mosasaur on their boat, and it's the Spinosaurs have like this symbiotic relationship where like they follow the mosasaur so they can like feed on the scraps or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. They don't really make a big point. The Spinos are there just to be a threat going into the beach before they crash. And they changed the design. The Spino of 3 looks amazing. It looks so cool. This one, I don't know if they made it more accurate or what, but it sucks. It just is noticeably a huge fucking dinosaur. So I hate that. Spinosaurus is the coolest dinosaur in Jurassic Park. Coolest design. And they ruined it with these new Spinos. They suck. Hate it. And especially because like the intelligence of the lone Spinosaur, and then you make them a pack, but they don't really have like real initiative. And so
how many people did they kill then?
The movie only kills like 5 people.
Lame.
But the
if you're gonna have like a mosasaur with Spino pack team up, you'd think there'd be like, I don't know, a few more casualties than that.
No, it's just following the crew. It's like for whatever reason, the youngest daughter, she's like 8. She just like clams up and won't talk. And they like notice it, but they're just like, let's go.
I kind of did with like Violet and Incredibles, in Danger.
Yeah, so she clams up, but then she finds a baby like Triceratops that's like cute.
Why isn't she bored by the dinosaurs? Look how majestic the Spinosaurus are.
She finds a cute like Triceratops type little baby thing that is like, like curious, like a doggy, and it fits in her backpack. She's like feeding it licorice, so it's like a little cutesy thing. That's the other thing is like dinosaurs. Everyone kind of initially is like, whoa, but like dinosaurs are for guys. Guys like dinosaurs. Guys like reptiles. Guys like weird shit and big monsters. Girls like monsters if it's a narrative where they're going to fuck the monster, like Dracula or Werewolf or something, or Beauty and the Beast.
Well, I mean, girls liked Baby Yoda.
Well, yeah, so they like them cute or fuckable. You know,
Exactly.
those are the two ways you do monsters for women. This is a guy movie. This is for guys. All right. So you need a little boy with a pet dinosaur to sell. Boys are not going to relate to this fucking girl and her moping. And then, oh, it could be baby dinosaur, and I'm going to name it whatever, and I'm going to give it licorice. So that was annoying because it's like, what are you doing? Like, what is this for? This is like Ray Skywalker Jr. Not that she does like takes over the movie, but it's just that same idea. Like, they don't get what they're making or who they're selling to, so they hamstring themselves in some ways with that kind of shit, and it just irks me. So that's part of like the wokeness conceptually at like the studio, where they don't get like, why the fuck would we have a little girl here if we don't have a little boy?
Right.
Because the little boys for the kids, the audience, you know, that's their avatar.
Well, you know, love or hate the kids in the first movie. They had both of them, and
Right.
you know, the little boy,
older sister with the little boy. No one really cares about the girl.
Well, no, it was like a fun contrast because he's like, "Wow, look at the cool dinosaurs. Let me pet it." And then she's like, "Is it safe?" And then it sneezes on her when she tries to pet it, and it's like, gross." But the little boy's just laughing. It's funny. Like, that was good contrast. You know, she's like, disgusting, and like you get to see both, and that was a good combo.
But it's really there for the boys. Because
no, you're right. I'm just saying, but I'm saying if you're gonna, what I'm saying is if you're gonna have the girl, it has to be paired with the boy in that way. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you do an older sister and a younger boy, and it's like the little boys in the audience, like, hey, that's me. And yeah, sisters suck. They always ruin the fun. They don't want to explore and touch gross stuff and play in the mud. You know, like
yeah,
and they miss that. And then like, oh no, the T-Rex. It's like they do like a water sequence with the T-Rex. It's kind of cool because it like gets in the river and swims and like cuts them off and like shit. But then it gets foiled by trying to bite the life raft, which is like the rubber life raft. Can't get its teeth through it for some reason, arbitrarily. So it's like,
so how bored was the audience watching a T-Rex, an old T-Rex? You know, one of the older dinosaurs that isn't you know, as cool as the new dinosaur. Was that pretty? Is that pretty lame? You fall asleep?
No, it was cool to see it in the water. I just because I've seen like the Apple dinosaur show, whatever, where they show the T-Rex and it's like baby in the water swimming, and it's like that's cool because no one thinks about that. But so they did that, and it was cool. Just me interested in science stuff, seeing them show a T-Rex swimming in the water and doing just fine, and it's like cool. You had like a new feature, like you're not safe in the water from a T-Rex.
But that would be kind of funny to be getting chased, and then he's like, well, I don't want to get wet, so I'm not gonna get in the water. I don't want to get my feet wet. No, thank you.
Yeah, but
I guess so.
At least the T-Rex didn't save the day. Like that was a bonus. That was like thank you.
Does the scientist man say
they didn't kill the D-Rex either? It's just it's kind of like Godzilla. It's just there, and it's like a concern. It definitely fucks up the rescue plot, but it's not like evil. It's just a thing, and it's hungry. You know.
So when people are getting killed, is the scientist man like, look how majestic this is? Like, is the music swelling? Like with the, you know. With the non-predator animals, you know?
Yeah, it definitely swells a bit, and it gets to like touch the dinosaur. You kind of like hold back tears because like, oh my god, you know, I'm in the wild with real dinosaurs, and fuck, this is like
no. I'm saying, do they do that when the predator dinosaurs are trying to kill them?
No.
Well, no. So that's kind of that's sort of my thing. It's like, well, they're showing like, you know, non-predatory ones. Like grazing or something, and it's like, well, but then so dinosaurs are actually pretty neat, and then it's like, all right, cut to the predator ones that are trying to kill them. Well, hold on now, run away. They're not showing like, look at the Spinosaurus as it eats that man, that fat man from the boat. Isn't this great? Aren't dinosaurs great? Like, you know, it's just like when people say like nature is so beautiful and whatever. It's like, well, yes, but it's like also, you know.
Let's watch this bobcat in Pakistan in the mountains kill a goat. Oh, look, first bite, it really rips out the butthole of the goat.
Let's watch this baby deer giving birth. Oh, what's that? A Komodo dragon is going to take the baby out of the womb and eat it? Like, oh, geez, you know, that's great. You know. I just think that's kind of funny. They like, look how majestic they. What? Kill him!
Oh my god. See, this is why I'm like concerned Maverick's like a bot, because he just hears like these like headlines of woke video titles or something. I was like, talk for real, man. Like, it's one thing to comment and get, dig deeper, but it's just like headline. I don't know, man. It's more, even me where I don't like it. It's like, I'll give credit, I'll give them nuance, I'll give them passes where they earn it. Like Scarlett is a good actress though. Like, watch the movie Her. She's never on screen. She's a great actress playing that AI role. No, Thor 2 is awesome. Thor 2 sucks when it's the people on Earth. When it's Thor and fucking Space Lord of the Rings, that shit's cool. And the Dark Elves, love it. Yeah, the action in Superman is very bland. It's hard to believe any action has stakes when the characters are hamming it up constantly. Oh, dude, Mr. Terrific though, he's pretty fucking cool. Like, I was watching Mr. Terrific in that movie, and it felt like this is the like funny blaxploitation cool of Mr. Terrific. Is like, this is what Eric thought he was riding with Ice on. And so like I have this like hibbity jibbity filter watching Mr. Terrific where it's like doubly funny or cool, because I'm thinking of like, Eric thinks he's making this.
Well, all Eric's got to do is take, a little line off of the I and call it T-Som or something, Or you could always just call it Mr. T, like he always wanted to be. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, Mad Max Furiosa didn't do good, not because of Chris Hemsworth. He's a great role in that movie. The whole movie is awesome. That whole
movie was actually really good. I didn't see it for the longest time because everybody said it was shit.
Yeah,
or that
when
it's
I saw
woke.
the trailer, I went to see it, maybe Avatar or something. I saw the trailer, I'm like, that looks equally woke and awesome. And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is awesome. And what a shit fest she has to go through since she's a kid. Like, what a great story. And
it's really good. And she wasn't a Mary Sue. Like, it was neat. It were neat.
And yeah, it fell because of the rhetoric of retarded YouTubers that this is their market to prey upon people with buzzwords and catchphrases.
Well, and a lot of people wanted literally Mad Max to be in the movie.
Watch Critical Drinkers Review. That'll completely show you what a fraud these people are, because he's like giving it all these good points, but it's like, well, but like you girl, like that's all he has to fall back on.
Well, no, and then he says the movie's like 10 years too late or something.
What are you talking about?
He says it's like there's been too many of these girl boss woke movies now, and so now it's not good. And yeah, I think Gary Neurotic was saying like that if Mad Max were in it, then maybe it'd be a better movie.
Mad Max would just weigh it down. It would be like Luke Skywalker. Like, I think narratively they handled it right to leave him as like the cliffhanger into 8, because you would just be distracted by, what's Luke gonna do? Oh, Luke knows this person. Why isn't he calling them up? Blah blah blah. Oh, EU Luke. Like, I think that was the right move to like sideline him narratively until the next movie. And then, okay, now we're back. Now you've met the new people. Now I can bring in Skywalker, properly. Obviously it wasn't handled right at all, but I think that was a good move narratively to like, especially 10 years since Star Wars, you have a mixed reaction at the least to the prequels, which I'm a prequel kid, love the prequels. That's why I'm a Star Wars fan, but I get it. Box office, I get studio, all the factors that go into making a movie. I get why they went with like Empire bullshit, that pandering. Because the OT is just like, everyone likes that. We can bank on that. That's the safe option. Let me see. Rev Self-Strict says, Suits has to be a reflection of modern USA, including massive self-doubt and weakness in general. It's its own singular modern thingo. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I hear that he gets his ass kicked a lot throughout the movie, which is like, for Superman to get his butt kicked a lot, that is kind of good to hear, at least. Like, in a way that he's not over dominating.
Yeah. I think Superman's just a bad character, like conceptually. He's a product of an older time. He's like the start, you know, and so he has the iconography because of he's the first on the scene to establish this market, but he is too overpowered. And then, you know, over time they added more things that make part of his iconography. It wasn't always X, Y, and Z, but we all know it is that way.
Well,
so if you remove
yeah.
it, then it's not Superman. Then you'd cry about that. So it's like, how do you? And that's
Well,
why
it's
there's
like
not many
part-
good Superman stories.
Part of it would probably make it like really good, and I think this was a plot in one of the video games, or like how it functioned was like his health bar wasn't for his own health. It was like, you know, the amount of people that get injured or something. Like if like over 100 people get injured, then he's like, oh, he's weakened or something. It's like, you know, something interesting with that, where it's like it depends on how good he saves people that he's like accomplishing his goal. If it's like a video game, like, you know, oh, 12 people got killed, oh dang it, you know, I did worse, I need to beat my record and try to save 11, you know, I need to save 11 people or 13 people or whatever.
That'd be like Clash of the Titans, where it's like, oh, not enough people are praying to fill my bar. Like,
I need to save that whole. Do I save the squirrel or do I save the skyscraper of people falling? You know, which one takes precedent over the other? I'm closer to the squirrel, but there's like 80 people in that skyscraper. You know, it's tough choice here.
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't judge movies off of the money they make. So that's really a non-argument. You can talk about like why you're not getting more because it didn't hit this bar because of studios and they're just always in the red.
I mean, if their budget was only like $10,000 and they made like 80 million, you know, it's like, whoa, holy fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, like we're at a point now where it's like Joker made $1 billion off of 50 million, so it's like astronomical in its return, but 50 million is still a lot of money. And then
and even though you don't like the Godzilla -1 thing, that was the same budget or whatever and made a lot too. So good.
No, Marvel's okay. Here's the problem with like the anti-woke crowd is the Marvels, as much as you want to talk about, they rigged the box office for Captain Marvel to hit $1 billion. They rigged Rotten Tomatoes after the fan backlash to it, yada yada. Valid points, but I think the Marvels was hindered because there wasn't a concise plot. There wasn't like a through line. It was a lot of studio meddling. I don't even think the director went on the press tour to promote it because she kind of had everything taken from her.
Brie Larson barely promoted it.
Yeah, it was like.
And who are the other chicks anyway? Like,
I'd rather have an organic woke film like talking down to me, and that's like the Vision. Again, I'd rather have Last Jedi than I would Ahsoka, you know, where it's like this feels way more meddled with than like Last Jedi feels like way more concise as a story that I hate, but it feels pure. That makes sense. And I think that's a problem now with like fan feedback on social media is you get divisiveness. You want to be divisive, so people keep talking about it. So you try to lean into that. It's immigrant crap with Superman, for instance. You know, the biggest controversy of Guardians 3 was like the animal shit. And it's fine, you know. It didn't need to stir controversy to make its money. And
the stuff with Rocket
alone, let Gunn do what he wants to do. It's very obviously mostly besides like I think Adam Warlock's plot thrown in there. That's obviously to build up the bigger MCU shit. But the Rocket and Gamora plot lines, main part of the story, I think that is just clearly James Gunn's writing. And so it did fine.
And kept it well enough with the family theme of the Guardians movies.
Now you're kind of becoming I don't know if this is like falling through or I'm kind of getting lost in all your comments, Maverick. Sorry. would Superman save a squirrel from a fox trying to feed its kids? Yeah, see, that's actually an interesting. Like, are you meddling? That squirrel was supposed to die to feed all the flies that would feed the frogs, that would feed the birds, that would feed what, like you're fucking up the food web, Superman.
Well, I just think your point though of like that's precious time that like other people currently could
In
be
the same
probably
scene,
saved.
the girl
Like,
that he saves with like all the shit blowing past him, and he like ducks her head and saves her, stands in the way. That's in the same sequence with the kaiju. That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie has no clear tone. It's all over the place and has no emotional depth. The relationship between him and Lois has no depth to it. It's just a lot of stuff happens. Whatever. It's entertainment, but it's not like, again, it's not going to resonate. People will go back and look at, oh, what were the previous Superman? And they'll see Man of Steel and they might hate it, but they'll remember it. They'll remember why they hate it. Why did Snyder think that it was okay to kill Paul Kent that way when he had the power to just zip over and save him? No one would even see it.
yeah, I mean, I remember scenes and quotes in it that well, yeah, you think you could threaten my mother? Like, I don't even like the stuff, but I remember this. They're so
That's
goofy.
what I'm talking about. Is like, even when it's like bad, you remember it. It like irks you that they went with whatever direction. This is forgettable slop. And it's just and it's like, what is the tone? What am I supposed to take away from Superman besides, oh, he's just a good guy who has power, so he does it? It's not even like Spider-Man, where it's like, yeah, there's no lesson from his parents besides like, well, a parent isn't there to like tell a kid what it's supposed to be. He's just there to give him the tools to be who he's always meant to be, or like some gay, meaningless platitude. It's just Kansas people don't sound like fucking Ma Kent. Or it's like, oh, we got the wash, got your clothes washed your boots, Clark. Like, that's not Kansas. Kansas is the middle of America. There might be a country draw, but it's not that at all. That's like fucking Louisiana or something, or Arkansas. That's not middle America, Kansas. Every facet of this movie is irritating as fuck. There was never anything I'm like, that they really, even part of the plot, him surrendering himself to the government to show goodwill, that's from Man of Steel, and they did that better.
They did that in Donner, I think, or one of in Returns, or one of the other ones they did that too. Or no, one of the shows, I forget. They do that in another Superman also.
Yeah, I agree. It is noticeable. I don't know the character canon of Sandman as far as representation, but yeah, it's very obvious that in the 80s, I'll say this, England was probably more diverse in the 80s when Gaiman was writing Sandman than in America at the same time, because the British Empire, and it followed through after its demise, or whatever you want to call it, still has all these English ties around the world globally. So it makes sense you would have diversity in London or wherever in England versus America. And it's just so much blacks. It's very much just black people, it seems, race swapped in Sandman and cast for diversity casting. It's just very irritating. Otherwise, I like it. I like the tone. It's interesting. It's peculiar. It's different. So I do like Sandman, despite the race shit stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, no, definitely Cotton. That's the other thing. I started watching Prince of Egypt. I haven't seen it in years since I was a kid. I used to love that movie, and it is beautiful animation. But here's the other facet of wokeness. All right, you're not gonna hear this from probably anyone else unless you're on Rumble or something, or 4chan or 8chan. Jews. And it's not like, oh, the Jews made Superman. It's not just that. Because Stan Lee made Spider-Man, Captain America, all that. There's actually a really weird difference in, you think of like, well, Stan Lee is this Jew with Jack Kirby making all these Marvel characters. The Thing is Jewish versus Superman. I think Superman's kind of inherently woke in his creation because of the Jewishness of the creators. I can't think of their fucking names right now. It's like, it's not Simon and Schuster. It's I'm gonna look it up. It's like Jerry's. Fuck. Superman creators. Siegel and Schuster. Okay, I knew it was close. So Prince of Egypt is the story of Moses, Hebrew. And it is a story about racial, along with all the religious aspects of it. It is a story about racial purity, about racial cohesiveness, about like blood triumph, being superior to all. Not necessarily that it's a supremacist story. I'm not saying that, but this whole storyline, you got the son of Ramses, and then he's like the stepbrother, but they just accept him. Even the father accepts Moses as his son, and he's had decades being raised with him since right after his like 1 year birthday, being in the river. And he gets challenged by this awareness that, oh, he's actually the brother of like this Hebrew slave. And so like none of the history with his brother, with his father, none of it matters. He just instantly goes into, oh, I'm a Hebrew, so I must go with the Hebrew way and the Hebrew God, and I'll smite my own people. When you watch Star Wars Episode 7, Finn, he is they make a point that like they harvest children to fill the ranks of stormtroopers, that you're in the First Order from birth. Basically, you never knew your family is your brothers in arms and sisters. And yet they have this schizophrenic storytelling where he sees all this stuff, and there's supposed to be like a precursor story where it's like he's seen like the guy that dies and like smears blood on his face is like, you know, one of his close buddies, and so his betrayal is rooted in like the death of his brethren, and like what's it for? That's kind of the root of Finn, but they never portray it properly to get you in that mindset. And so later in the movie, when he joins the rebellion, and there's like traitor TR8R or whatever, that stormtrooper with the baton, and he fights him and he gets killed and shit. And then all these TIE fighters getting shot. These are Empire. These are First Order people. These are his brothers. And he's just like, woo, yeah, Poe Dameron, kill my family. He completely betrays his people instantly.
If I have a chance to escape, they don't. Kill them all. Fuck them.
Yeah. And then they try to backtrack it and have him get with the black chick that is like, oh, we're all like defecting from the First Order. And so he's making like this hodgepodge family of First Order defectors, like North Koreans or something. It's very schizophrenic, but you see what I mean in comparison. Moses is kind of like Finn narratively, where all the investment matters not. It's like Colin Kaepernick was adopted and raised by white people, but who is he kneeling against and advocating? It's white people. When he was brought up, he is a star. He is beloved at the time by San Francisco fans. Almost won a Super Bowl. Everyone cheering is like mostly white people in the stands. Even though it's a major black sport, most of the fandom is white in America. And yet he hates them. And that's kind of like what Moses is. And it's so like, ew to me. And people just eat up this narrative, and it's part of their religion being Christian. But like, I see it as like, especially when you get like white nationalist people that like try to like, yeah, we're going to save the earth and the West with Christianity. It's like this Jewish religion where it's like betray your family that like invests in you because they're not the right race, because they're not the Hebrews. Like that seems wrong. Because Superman is complete opposite. They take the Moses narrative of like a child in the river, child in the fucking cosmos, delivered into Earth, raised by the Kents. And he completely betrays his race in all these narratives of Superman. He's like, Krypton had its time, you know, classically Man of Steel. He's a complete race traitor. And I feel it's like purposeful. It's a fictitious narrative to influence the culture, to hate themselves, to not have any allegiance to your blood. In contrast to the Moses narrative, which is all about blood, you know? And so I think intrinsically Superman is a woke character, and we should like get out of here, you know? Because Superman or Batman, he is completely beholden. He deifies his bloodline. He works his god, regardless if he actually goes to church and any of the stories, his gods are his parents. He's deified them. That's what drives him. That's his motivation, is to serve their legacy. So it's complete opposite conceptually. So I think that when I get deep into Superman, it's like, gross. Get the fuck away from me. Aside from the power shit and he's boring, I see the deep narrative there. I don't like it. So woke, fuck you. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Ricky.
Nope.
No, Sandman, Netflix, DC, Sandman, Neil Gaiman. Interesting. The most famous written in history is a Arab Esau from the Bible. I thought Ishmael was supposed to be the first Arab, or are ancient Egyptians considered Arabs? I thought they're their own distinct, because ancient Egyptians are extinct. Well, we think of as Egyptians now, they're Arabic. They're not Egyptians from like the pyramids. Twin brother Jacob, first Jew. I don't need a plot for a dinosaur. Oh, well, I disagree, Cotton, because when you watch Jurassic Park, I think the dinosaurs only take up like 20 or 30 minutes of the like 2-hour movie. They are a big reason for everything, but it's more conceptual for the most part.
Well, I mean, the first Jurassic Park movie wasn't just dinosaurs are on screen, Like, I feel like, just having them randomly there doesn't really make it entertaining either. But it's also kind of funny, again, because the plot is usually dinosaurs are pretty boring, huh? But everybody comes to see the movies for the dinosaurs. So it's like, well, contradiction.
Yeah, I actually, I had a post where I'm like, I want to see a cross country road trip adventure with the D-Rex and the demon baby from Passion of the Christ, because they're both like freaks that kind of got like this natural smile on their face, like retards.
and throw in the Alien 3 hybrid one or
the
whatever.
dog alien.
or am I thinking of the one after that?
Oh, you're thinking of the child,
the like hybrid one.
Yeah, the child with the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I always felt bad. I think a lot of people actually say that, like there's like a bit of sadness you feel for it, because when it gets like betrayed, it's sucked through the hole. It's like it's kind of just
it's like, Mama, what'd you do that for, Mama?
Yeah. Oh, wait, what are you talking about? Shape of Water? Because I love that movie. It's a good movie. It's a good date movie. It's one of those like a girl will be like, "What, this monster?" And then they're like, "Oh," and it's the Beauty and the Beast. They love fucking monsters. That's monsters for girls. You gotta have monsters you can fuck. That really is like I don't know what it is. That's women.
It's
coding.
a true science.
It is a scientific fact. I saw Ms. Bizarro work Mr. Terrific. He sucks at everything. Yeah.
No, just the one thing that he can't do, of which is fly.
Let me see. So I need to find what is it? Nerdrotic Pierce. I think it's IE. Pierce Morgan Elspeth.
Pierce Morgan Elspeth. Interesting.
I'm trying to find this okay. 51 seconds. Dean Cain or Drotic, and who else? Just nothing but zeros. This will be great. I have not watched this yet.
I think Az is on there too.
No. It's funny they think that was a win. It's like, no, that was gross. All right, let's see. Has James Gunn turned Superman woke?
Superman's actually a refugee.
Isn't that an immigrant?
They're trying to to equate those things together, which I think is ridiculous because of the current politicization of that situation.
James Gunn is not the kind of guy who's going to put an American flag in his front yard during 4th of July. And that's the kind of guy you need to be to create Superman.
I did not like this movie at all. Every man in this movie is weak and he cries.
Chris, there is one silver lining here, which I think you touched on.
Dresses, short skirts, high heels, cleavage. Thank you, James Gunn, for that.
Hollywood's has been trying to remove masculinity. Seems like
Yes.
the last decade. Once again, it needs to be White Boy Summer to bring people back to the box office.
Did you listen to EVS's or whoever made that White Boy Summer song? I don't know who made that, but yeah, I'm thinking of that.
Oh man, well, it's just funny you say White Boy Summer because then it's like I just think like Nick Fuentes. I'm like, fuck yeah, America first, which none of these queer baits would ever be. They'll lick Ben Shapiro's taint to get a buck instead of having a real stand. That's the most annoying thing about these zeros. They want to like be like right wing coded, but they're never truly right wing. That's why I have to say it's like you need. There's this great clip of Nick Fuentes where he's saying like. You know, people are all right when white people are like meek and, hey guys, I think something's up here. I don't think we're being treated fairly. He's like, but they.
Where's Mickey Mouse, you know?
And then they'll freak out. He's like, when a real white nigga beats his chest, they freak out. I will be.
We are
that
scary.
white in.
We are scary.
I will be that white in for you. I'll call it how I see it. That's why I drop N bombs on Twitter. Because I'm here for you. You meek little white guilt-ridden whiteys. You're too meek to say what really is the problem. I'm here for you. All right, let's look what EVS said. This was his. That's why I made it. I hope you like the thumbnail with EVS and Eric Butts together. Extra soy. I won't say it's Superman. This movie is like soy. It's just like I definitely talk with Dan. Unfortunately, Dan, who's a big Snyder tard, and I have no problem telling him that to his face. It's lovingly that I say it to him.
He's our Snyder tard.
He's like, I shared some meme of Superman and make fun of the Snyderverse. And he's like, I'm a real Superman fan, so I'm not seeing it. And it's just like, well, how can you comment on it, actually? Like, it's one thing to comment on what you're seeing from the trailers or what you're hearing in articles, but at the end of the day, you got to see the movie to give real commentary to uplift your Snyder tard position. I think like that should be his homework to make content.
Yeah, if he wants to rise, raise Snyder higher from the ground or whatever, you got to see this movie to compare it to Man of Steel and stuff. You got to.
Yeah, legitimately. I'm trying to find the EVS clip.
All you niggas better run for cover. It's a white boy summer.
All right. This is his Superman thoughts. Let's dig in. I've not listened besides like 20 seconds when he's like, I like it. I'm like, I gotta talk about this. What a dumb fuck. Love EVS, but I think you're like too close. I think you're too much in the sauce to give a appropriate commentary.
I think he's when he hears the people that don't like the movie, he's hearing like Gary and Jeremy and them. So that's what he thinks.
It's twofold. It's like any controversial, like in the politically controversial, woke, not woke, blockbuster movie popping up, movie talk. Matt Jarbo, fucking Mad Max, any of these kind of retards that are just triggered by Jeremy and Nerdrotic to ridiculous levels. They can't ever see objective like W's to them. Like, oh, well, you know what? They're right there. Like they don't listen to Matt Jarbo or Mad Max. People like that when they are counter signaling because it's basically Trump derangement. So they're just as unobjective as the zeros. So kind of just ignore both of them. I think EVS is pretty even killed. Like his Joker commentary. I Joker 2, definitely not
commentary. Yeah.
Joker 2 is definitely not the movie I would have made having Joker on hand. but I think it was I'll have to go back to my notes I sent Rookie, because it's like I wanted to do an essay video, because I was like, I really think like I do think there is an interesting philosophical follow through from the first movie that he's playing with this movie that people won't appreciate, and they'll just write off like, oh, failed box office, it was a musical, of course, you know. But I really think there was like art made with that movie. I'll have to see it again and get my thoughts back in flow to try to like properly articulate. But yeah, Barbie really stuck out to me. It was like, you are really missing the value for your own side with this movie. The only awards this movie got was for men, for Ken. And the only thing that resonated, that stuck out as memes, was Ken. They're trying to shit on men, and they failed. They only added to the sympathy you should have for men in the modern day, because you can't even go with the classic. Like, we're in this postmodern world, legitimately, I think, in some ways, conceptually, where the idea of like, you just got to pull yourself by your bootstraps and go to the gym and, you know, work hard and blah, like this classic male ideas, they also don't work. And that's like the plight of Ken. He's like, oh, I did everything the men are supposed to do, and you still aren't my girlfriend. What the fuck, you know? And that is the plight of men today, I think, is like, we can't look back at how to fix these problems. We look back and see, well, why was things working the way they did, and why did it fall apart? But you can't fix things with old remedies, I would say. And I think, and also it's like super binary. Like, they have a trans person playing a Barbie, but they play it straight. They play it as like, that's another girl on set. And in the movie is completely binary. It's the most turf gender binary film in modern Hollywood in like 20 years. And that might have been on accident, but that, you know, so like the feminists actually made some like very turfy decisions with the movie. I don't know if they were purposeful. And it's a big feminist cell phone. The whole movie's a feminist cell phone, and that's like the joy of it. That's the fun of it, is when you're seeing the depth of the movie, you're seeing the cell phone. It makes it even more fun. You see, Sick Lad, what's up? Says, my friend said he likes new Superman, but he misses the seriousness of Man of Steel and Snyder's overall take on Superman. Yeah, I think Snyder's flawed, but I'd rather see that any day. And I objectively like Man of Steel, despite its problems. I like BVS Ultimate Cut. It's not a completely coherent plot line. It's a lot of good scenes stitched together, but I see Snyder's first two films in the DC, and I'm like, there's things Hollywood should learn from this, and it's not all bad. They should learn like reservation, you know, quit worrying about, oh, look here, oh, that thing, what's that? Like, he played it way more straight, I think, that to his benefit. Yeah, let me get the CVS clip up. There we go. All right, here's EVS's take. We'll dissect it. This is like in the theater reaction.
I just finished watching Superman. I'm still in the movie theater. James Gunn, how the hell did you do that?
Okay, I'm afraid I'll get copyright hit, so I'm going to keep pausing often because he's literally watching the credits.
Yeah. It's funny, the way that he sounds, that looking at it, he's like, how the hell did you do that? It sounds like, you know, how could you do this?
Yeah, I'm like,
this?
oh boy, and then it turns.
You made a Superman movie. I'm delighted. I almost want to cry. You know, that was Superman, and moreover, that was the DC universe. That was everything that I love about DC Comics, but also, more importantly, I didn't know anybody could actually do that in 2025 and bring Superman to the screen like that, bring him to life.
Did they ever? I'm trying to think. If someone remembers, let me know. Did they ever have an American flag in the movie? I don't know if they did in the original Superman 78, but I feel like they didn't need to back then, because like obviously this is an American icon. That's our guy. That's our symbol. You know.
Yeah, I think EVS makes a point. I was watching some of his stream where he's saying like, "Yeah, you don't need to see an American flag for it to have American values or something." And it's like, well, I get the point, but like, it'd be nice in the modern day where the flag is openly rejected by the public so often. It'd be nice to see it in there. It's one of those things, that would be nice to flash a few times. I mean, I know there was some in the trailer. I don't know if there is in the movie.
There's the Superman flag by the brown kid. I don't remember an American flag.
Well, no, I mean there was an American flag in the trailers, like on the street. I think
maybe
like people's apartment windows or something. I think.
Like that's what's cool about Spider-Man. The whole trilogy is like they make a point to just boom. Here's Spider-Man with the fucking American flags. These are one and the same. Fuck every other country. That's what we need in this day and age. You need an overt. That's why Top Gun 2 sucks. All right, Top Gun 2 is just Star Wars. Literally, it's Star Wars Episode 4. It's the Star Wars plot. It's boomer as fuck. Kids can't do anything. They got to have some old fuck do the thing. And they're his lackeys. So there's no innovation for the future. Got to revert to the old shit. So it's boomer coded, and it's too pussy to really be patriotic and say like fuck these people. Top Gun was like, Russia, we're gonna shoot you out of the fucking sky. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Top Gun 2 is like, oh, Moscow. Oh, Slavograd. Like it's just a vague Eastern Europe country that is a threat that they have to like do this bombing raid. And it's like literally the Death Star shot, the way they have to take it. It's fucking stupid. And it's just like they try to sell boomers this like, yeah, patriotism. It's like light as fuck. It's really pussy. It's inoffensively patriotic. No one else is like tapped down as like, you are lesser. That's what patriotism is. That's what nationalism is. It's like, we are better than them. There's no establishing them, So, and it's just, it retreads everything, and it makes Maverick a fucking cuck chasing some already bred out woman. Her eggs are dried up. Like, nothing about it was good. And everyone just ate it up because they did the most surface level fan service bullshit. And it's like, it's cool. Tom Cruise does stunts. Like, that's cool. He's great in military movies, but fuck that movie. It's like MAGA. MAGA is a scam. You've all been scammed. You fell for it again. You're getting nothing. You're getting mass immigration to replace you in your jobs. And it'll talk down to you and say you deserve to be replaced because you're lazy. That's what MAGA is. I'm in Ohio, so they're going to force fucking Vivek Ramaswamy down my throat. Hopefully, a Democrat can be a worthy challenger, because I'd rather vote Democrat, rather vote for a woman Democrat than a fucking anchor baby infesting my country. Let's continue with this retarded soy-based take from EVS. I'm embellishing. It is surprising.
Yeah.
Closing credits are still going. I'm hanging out to see. I think there are going to be some post-credit scenes. Supergirl, I love her. Crypto, love him. Every character brilliantly realized. Hawkgirl was the only one I wasn't quite sure about, but there are several different versions of Hawkgirl. I don't know which one is this Kendra. I'm not really sure, but Kendra.
Just pausing for the music.
I don't even know what to say. I'm really, really, really happy with this movie. People who are criticizing it right now are frankly wrong. Lex Luthor, brilliant. The best version of Lex Luthor I've ever seen. Here comes a post-credit. Oh, look at that. That's outstanding.
I think that scene is Krypto and Superman sitting on the moon looking at Earth.
Ah, okay.
It's just kind of I don't know, like, what a waste of a post-credit scene.
It's just Superman sitting on the moon with Krypto, looking at the Earth. The ego of Lex Luthor. It's the best depiction I've ever seen. And I mean, really, as close to perfect as possible. As good as Christopher Reeve? Maybe. I don't know. I actually just felt like I was looking at Superman. David Corenswet was great. So many moments of just purity and goodness and kindness, bravery, humanity.
Is it really brave? I never watched this and thought, wow, he's really risking it all. You know, Man of Steel, he fucking like triumphantly stands up in this fucking terraform beam and destroys it. You know, it's like that they portray it as like this is a real feat even for Superman to accomplish. This is testing the bounds of his ability. I never felt that. The nano shit, it's like, I don't know, you're filling guys' lungs with robots. I think that's gonna fuck anyone up. Like didn't really feel like only Superman could, have that be a problem. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what this guy's talking about.
I think it was important to show Superman being overwhelmed so many times. It's not like, one of the things that the people criticize Superman for as a character is that he's overpowered, and people find that boring. But I think over and over again in this movie, there's one more post-credit scene. Over and over in this movie, you're really worried. Magnificent. A+.
Wow.
I mean, that's coming from me. I don't say that lightly at all.
Oh wow, interesting.
I don't remember what the second.
I don't say that lightly at all. I really didn't think I was going to like this film. People saying it's a 6.5 out of 10 and things like that. I don't know what you mean. If you don't like this, I don't know what you're looking for. I'm really, really happy with it.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh my god! Even the corny stuff, like at the end, Lois.
The second scene is him and Mr. Terrific are looking at like a building that's been. Metropolis is getting split in half by the rift thing from the Pocket Universe malfunctioning.
Of course,
and so they reversed it, and so all this building isn't seamlessly put back together. And so they're both him and Mr. Terrific are looking at it, and it's like bothering Mr. Terrific that it's like, no, it's not quite right. Like he's like, oh, sorry, like he gets offended by that. It's just like, okay, like, that's what you took away from this whole big ordeal.
This thing, I love you too, and Superman breaking into a big smile. I love his parents. I've never seen that kind of a version of his parents. There's some question about whether or not his actual Kryptonian parents, if the message that they sent about, there was a disappointment.
Oh, I don't know if I told you this, Ricky. So Kyle's parents, he has this message that's scrambled. He doesn't have the full clip. So he just plays this on repeat, and it's in Kryptonian. They're saying something. And I think he knows the translation up to that point of like, we love you. You're our son. We send you to Earth, whatever. The full clip, Lex Luthor, because he has Ultraman, he cloned him because he found like a hair from some fight earlier before the movie. So that's how he gets some Fortress of Solitude with Ultraman.
I see.
Saw Blade Lady, who has nanotech or whatever, she retrieves the full clip, and then they have he says something like they have 30 cryptographers or whatever decode it, and it says like, we sent you to Earth, blend in, make yourself a hero, make them adore you, whatever, make a secret harem and seed the planet and rule it. So it's basically Brightburn is what his parents. So it only reinforces my point about the contrast of like how people talk about like Moses versus what it really is in conjunction with Superman, where it's like Superman is a race traitor, even though Moses is all about loyalty to your race. Even though you had no knowledge of them, like that takes precedent over any bonds you've made. And so that only reinforces like my distaste for this portrayal and just the character in general. I guess this is a less often portrayed version. Has been in the comics, this evil, by our view as humans, evil intent of Superman's parents, but I don't know. It just goes hand in hand with all the other woke aspects. And I think this movie was reshot in part or chopped up because Trump won. So they had to kind of rejigger it somewhat because, oh God, MAGA's taken over.
Yeah.
We have to
probably.
appease them in some way.
Yeah. Gotta get more no, I was gonna, gotta get more people to put knees on throats, on necks. That'll get their attention.
To Clark, if that was real or if that was Brainiac, I have no problem believing that was real. I like the idea that Superman was sent here to rule. That's what the Kryptonians wanted him to do, and he didn't know that, and he had other I like all that. That's really a neat take. It means that the choices that he made to become a hero, to become who he was, were his. They weren't predestined. His parents didn't ask him to do that. He didn't feel like he had any kind of a predestiny. Those were choices that he made himself. Much better.
I mean, that is nice to think of. Like, I would say it's more reality for people, regardless of the legacy you're born into, of like you steering your own ship to be your best, whatever. Like, that's a nice narrative to give people, but it kind of goes against all of our religious mythos through history that we create for ourselves, whether it's comics or before through religion, of like Abraham, he is told like, oh, you will bear a child with Rachel. He's like, this old bitch? Nah, I'll fuck my slave, idiot. And then, hey, Ishmael is not the firstborn. It's Isaac, the younger, and, there's certain people in the Bible that God like has this destiny planned for, even when they might directly try to subvert it, thinking they know better. And that's like Star Wars. Star Wars, I think, is the epitome of like this religious myth in the modern day. And it's like, even with the obstacles that Anakin through Vader commits to, he does follow through in the end and destroying the Sith. He does, he is the chosen one. It's not Luke. It's Anakin, and Luke is just an echo of that. He's an echo of his father's destiny. So that's that. I think that's the problem conceptually, regardless if it makes sense or it's more interesting narratively, if it's more endearing or realistic. I think when you're not leaning, and this is where Snyder gets a big one up on Gunn in this portrayal, is that even in his murky, dirty portrayal of like this godhood rising in Clark Kent, it's meant to resonate with like all of our ethos through myths, and when you don't lean into that, I think you're betraying like, I don't know. I think it says something about like our godlessness in a not Christian, but just in broad strokes as a society, or godlessness. I think that's intrinsic to it, not necessarily like purposeful by Gunn to like, let me subvert religion. We don't need. It's not that. I just think like it reflects our throwing God out.
Right.
I don't think that's a good thing, because I think that's why a lot of our myths of late, these new entries don't have the stay power, because they're kind of missing the God aspect of these stories.
True. I mean, the differences in this film from the Superman that we've seen in the past in other places. I think they're better. I think they're an improvement. I think they enhance the mythology. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm very happy when I see this other post-credit scene. Everybody else left, but the movie theater was pretty full. I was sitting next to somebody, so that's unusual. Lately, when I go to the movies, I'm usually like, there are one or two people in the theater. The movie theater was full. A lot of people here.
I don't think there's too many people. I think I went on a Thursday. It wasn't too many people. Probably 30 or 40.
Let's see the special thanks and note that I'm not in it. I didn't do very much work on Superman. There's something about the character that John Malin saw the little preview image that James Gunn posted and said, I'm excited for this. Does that make me gay? Well, yes, maybe. I'm going to say no, it doesn't. I'm excited too. And I'm as hetero as the next guy. Come on, let's go. Where's this other scene?
I'm as hetero as you guys, right? Right?
By the way, I thought I bought tickets for 3D, but I did not. So I just saw it. I don't know. 3D gets boring after a little while. Guy Gardner was cool, underutilized, but when he was used, it was cool. They got him right. I liked his constructs. I liked the middle fingers overthrowing the tanks. Metamorpho, what a weirdo. Way different than I thought. A figure of almost a piteous figure. I got these guys like talking about how this movie is, everybody cries and stuff. So what? There are reasons to cry sometimes. I really hate that, a lot of our critics in this space push back against scenes like emotional notes and scenes. Metamorpho being full of, here's a special thanks. Chuck Austin got him. How about that? Alex Ross, Tim Sick.
You seen the scene in the trailer with him arguing with Lois. That's what most people is talking about. So when he's getting hit in the head with a can and everyone's like, fuck you. That's because they get like this big press release with the like, oh, actually Superman's here to like take over and control us. So everyone kind of turns on and the Justice Gang like, is that why you're here? What the fuck? Like, and he's like, I didn't know. I've never heard the full thing. I thought like it was good.
Yeah, whoops.
But the people turn on him for at least the moment. That's reasonable. So him like looking sullen when you get the context of the scene, it's like, yeah, your whole trajectory, like your worldview has literally been shattered in an instant to the whole world.
Well, hold on though. It's like, how is it released through what Lex Media or social media or something?
Yeah.
And it's like everybody instantly believes it. It's like if half the people believed it, I think that would make more sense. The other people would be like, why would we believe that? Like that doesn't. Not everybody's just going to believe something because they said so.
Well, because they also had all these cryptographers verify and work on it.
What does that matter, Angus? So, you know that there's people that would be like, that still don't believe that.
Trust the experts. Sources say.
People won't just believe it. So it's just that if everybody all believes it, that's really weird. But it's also kind of.
I really wish they would have had like an Alex Jones type. Like in Spider-Man, but he's on the side of Superman with his conspiracy, like this is the deep state trying to destroy, and like maybe echo like YouTubers through pro Superman, where it's like everything kind of turned on its head with this scenario.
Yeah, well, so like, doesn't he have robots?
Yeah, he's got 4 robots. One of them wants
to that are like from Krypton, or are they Earth robots?
I don't know. I don't know the lore. They're just already
Well,
there.
if they're Krypton robots, that's kind of weird. That it's like Lex Tech can just like that he can decrypt it in like a day, when like the alien tech can't.
That's the problem. We
their
don't
own
get a
thing.
sense of time passing. It's not really clear, besides maybe 2 days, 3 days. It's not really clear how long this block of story is. That's, I think, kind of hurts it, given all the shit that happens in the movie. If it's like 2 or 3 days, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, well,
like
it's
Star Wars. When you're in
so,
Star Wars, it's like, hey, here's a block of time every like 3 years. Things are happening for years in between these movies.
yeah.
I think that kind of hurts it. And people saying to combine us with the Batman, that makes no fucking sense.
No, I can't see those at all. This crazy world,
Especially when you watch the Penguin, because you get more of like a full spectrum look at like Gotham. And so it makes no sense, things that are going on in that, if Superman and the Justice Gang are also in this world.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I told you this. Like, I feel like you don't have to do whatever things. It's like I feel like in general people are kind of like already annoyed with the amount of movies that go bizarre with not interconnected. I'm referring to the amount of craziness on screen and multiverse and the other universes and other things and giant kaiju, all these, like, so many when everything's so bombastic each movie now, even like the Godzilla ones and all these different movies, just in general, there's all these like a whole bunch of things going on, and it's like you go back to the 2000s, even like the team movies, like with the X-Men. The X-Men's not crazy, all these things happening all the time, but it's pretty easy to follow. You're following a few characters. There's some slow scenes. It's taking itself kind of seriously, but there's some jokes and humor here and there, but you're not like confused on anything going on. You're not lost or like getting too much information at once or whatever. But with all these movies lately, there's just like, oh, there's all this crap and all these things, all these people and whatever. Nobody knows what's going on. And this, and then this movie is like starting a new franchise, and this is how it starts. This sounds like a headache immediately when like you can just watch like Iron Man, and it's not the reason why I feel like that movies are watchable, not just for nostalgia or all these other things. Like it's a type of movie that lets you get immersed in it, and nothing's gonna bombard you like crazy. Like you can comfortably watch it, and it's like, oh yes, here's this happening, that's happening, and this part's cool, that's cool, without it being like too over the top.
Even with Thor coming to Earth, and then later you get Avengers, it's like it feels like that's a huge leap when it's like, fuck, the Chitauri and the space wells in New York, oh my god. And like the helicarrier is its own location for like a third of the movie. It's pretty contained.
Yeah, it's nice, and you get to know characters better. You get to know the world better slowly, a little bit. It's like you don't need to. I'm okay if we pop into here and there's already been the Justice Gang and there's already a whole bunch of things that have happened. He's been doing this for 3 years. That's all fine. It's just what they choose to focus on. It seems to be like if you want to have his parents' message be so important and family or whatever, have that be more of a key point to the film, instead of like, and then there's this Hyperman, and there's this political war, and then there's Lex Luthor and all his things, and then there's those things, and then crypto, and then look at that. It just sounds like you can't hold still, like doing your movie. I don't know. It sounds like even in the interview scene, like he just immediately seems to fall apart when it's like. I feel like, Inglourious Bastards, you don't have to use this as an example, but it builds, the tension builds. You could have him.
Wait. Scrummy Wummy, I meant to have you on one stream. You were talking about, you were going to tell us like a date story or something. DM me so I can send you a link if you're down to join. I don't know if you're at work or not or whatever, but I just remember because he says, when I could be whacking off to Angus' sweet man face full screen. This is EVS's in theater credits reaction to Superman that we're going through. We're about a minute away from the end, waiting to hear his second credit scene take, but he's just like gushing over this, and it's like, to me, very strange. I feel like going, it's like he would just be like, what the fuck was this? Just too much at the least, you know. But he's just like, everything was great. This is awesome. This is what Superman should be. Yeah, I like this parents move, I like his Kent family. Like, I'm just so surprised at all these decisions that he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It like it is weird, and I don't know. I kind of you know, seeing Man of Steel, seeing the other movies, like you get some of the parents in them, but I feel like none of them really spend that much time with them either. Like, not really.
Yeah, you said parents. But you said parents. That's what I was stuck on.
Grandparents, whatever. I don't know.
No. The elves,
or foster parents.
No, not the kids with the elves. His parents that sent him. Like when he finds out, and thus far it's like left open and added context. They're like, oh, this really is what the message is, full scope, because he listens to this clip all the time to relax or what to meditate when he's in the Fortress of Solitude. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, play my parents. And it's all this footage from him as a kid with his Kent family. And so he's replaced his parents in his fortress. Now, what I don't like is that there's never a moment with this big revelation for the core of his character, this core idea of his mythos in American knowledge of just Superman as a concept. There's never a moment where he's like, what? That's what my parents sent me for? And thinking, yeah, should I do what my parents sent me for? Is that like my mission? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Would that make it better? It's kind of like, I have these conversations with Dan with like the Man of Steel and stuff, and the concept and the Ubermensch, whatever, and power. And it's like kind of like Anakin. We're talking to Padme, and he's like, well, that's what we do. Like, they should be made to agree, you know?
Yeah.
Like he never even ponders for a second if like, well, with all these things going on, this wars I have to stop. Like literally, that's like a thing that is in the news when you start the movie. Is that like, oh, he just stopped a war, and you know, this is a big problem. This is like an angle that Lex is taking to try to get the DOD to like work with him to subdue Superman and put him in prison. So the fact that he never even contemplates, maybe that would be the right answer. Like Red Sun, you know, where
he's worried about these two countries fighting, but it's like he's trying to maneuver around all these legal aspects. But it's like, well, what if I just tell them both no?
Yeah, it's like,
and
you are going to do this because you're not going to kill each other. That's it. You know, be a dictator for good. Like it never crosses his mind that that would be the option. And it's like, I feel like that'd be a valid.
Well, this sounds like the plot point. Like a lot of the stuff sounds like season 3, or like, Mahler and them were kind of saying that it sounds like so many things have developed where it sounds like it's season 3 in the show or something now, and this is where you got to, and like this is how it starts. Like this is the other thing I was saying too. Like it doesn't matter that they released the footage or the files that his parents said you need to make a harem and fuck all the bitches and rule everything, whatever. Why would that matter unless Superman has done things that are that questionable? When he's shown saving people and doing all these things this whole time, and it's been what, 3 years he's been doing that for? Like it wouldn't really raise a, hey man, we hate you now instantly, I don't think, unless throughout it there's been a lot of discourse already of people, a debate of like, is he doing more good or harm? Yeah, he saved that plane, but because of this, while he was saving that plane, the whole city got burnt or some shit. I don't know. Like there's no other discussion about him being good or bad, it seems. It's just, well, his parents said that he's here to be bad, so we believe the alien parents and that he's bad. Like that sounds kind of retarded to me.
There was an interesting line when this comes to Revelation, and then Lex is on basically like Fox News that he goes on frequently. It's not Fox News, but it's portrayed basically like that, like it's like Sean Hannity or something. he says something like, this was Superman's actual mission from his parents, and he's just grooming us, because it's like, well, what about like all of his good acts? Of like, well, he's just grooming us. And that line I don't feel was just an accidental. Well, that word works. I feel like that was very pointed to flip it back at like MAGA with calling everything grooming, and but it was funny hearing it from Lex Luthor saying Superman's grooming.
Right, and it's like that's a side that's an angle that some people would take, sure, but that's where like a debate of like, well, but he's clearly good though with what he's done. You're just soft and you're just taking it in. It shouldn't be most people switching though, like an instant. It should be, my point is, discourse should already be there, and this be added on top of
I don't know,
discourse,
Ricky.
not
I think
because
the
it's
Epstein
just
files completely undercut you, because look at all these magatars that just eat up anything, eat up these.
Well, no, you see, no, that literally can't undercut, because it's been an ongoing thing to try to get in the movie. We need to get Superman's real files and get his thing? No, it's just something nobody knew about.
The heel turn of
right.
the people is that all the magatars just ate everything up. They're like, oh, we're winning, big beautiful bill, mass deportations. Mass deportations aren't happening. They're mass importing people to replace you, and everyone just ignores it, or like they'll eat up whatever Fox narrative is to answer that, to put your mind at ease. Like, oh, it's actually a good thing to replace you with H-1Bs, for business, GDP, like whatever excuse they make. It's only this Epstein file. It's like actually like undercut MAGA as like an entity that is run by Trump and administration. And you see like, this is the heel turn that the base is having, whether when we get, full scope, if we ever get full knowledge, whether it's valid or not, whether Trump actually is like reasonable, be like, what is the big deal? It's actually nothing. I've seen it's nothing. Leave it alone. This is completely switched so many people on them instantly.
Well, that type of reaction
you're the pedophile.
If Superman were to be like, well, no, those are nothing, just ignore it. What does that matter? Come on, like that would be suspicious.
He doesn't
reaction.
seem to actually involve himself in answering, because you never really get time for him to like sit down and be like, okay, so yeah, that video, let me address that. Like, you don't ever have time in the movie for him to.
What I was trying to say before though was that like when the like interview with Lois should, like, I'm thinking of like better filmmakers that would like take advantage of that scene and like have it be, especially where she's like interviewing Clark and she's planning to show this to everybody and whatever, like this interview, and he could be really calm, cool, whatever, relaxed at first as Superman, and then he's she says some things that do aggravate him a bit, and it's a slow kind of build with it. And maybe he's switching in and out of Clarkisms and Supermanisms, and he's like, oh, crap, trying to
they do have that where he's like, hey,
doing
that's
that, which
personal, like
which that is, well, yeah, but it sounds like that happens like on easy questions that are like, it's not even hard questions, like I don't know, it seems like it's not that great of a scene, but it could be, is what it sounds like.
Angel Stray brings up a great point. There is discourse already for Superman in the film, and Lex is behind it with his monkey bot farm. Because in his pocket universe, he has monkeys with helmets that are like on Twitter or whatever.
No, I get that. Yeah,
and they're behind hashtag super shit, which really bothers Clark. And I feel like, dude, you just made the perfect hashtag for this movie.
Yeah. the little platoon said that it would have been like a better writing if like he was more offended by the super spy hashtag super spy or whatever, because that implies like he's not one of us, he's pretending to be among us, and he's not, like that line, that hashtag should like hurt him more than super shit. Like, who cares about super shit? Because that is something that does sound retarded. You like that hashtag super shit. It's like, I don't see how that matters to you. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Again, when you're
I
fighting
think
kaiju and stuff, I don't know. I feel like it would have to be something more personal to jab you and get you offended, like you said that he does with Lois, than super shit. Like, out of all these things, that is what you being accused of, like, I don't know, doing something wrong or dictating. That that gets you a little angry, but super shit. Yeah,
They
it just
fall
grinds
into it.
my
They fall
gears.
into, and
Like,
this is like a small detail, but they fall in this trap in a way bigger way. So Spider-Man trilogy with Sam Raimi, great films. Even the third one, fuck you. They're like, you're the guy that takes all the pictures of Spider-Man. It's like Peter Parker. They know Parker gets all the Spider-Man. It's like, that's a little weird. It's like, how'd you get this picture on a skyscraper? Like, oh, a flagpole. Like, what? Okay. Like, that's like a big wink narratively.
well,
But
I thought you
in
were
this
going to bring up.
movie, Clark Kent has all these exclusive interviews with Superman. So that's like his stardom as a reporter. And it's like, that feels like cheating. It feels like if Dash was an Olympian runner, in The Incredibles. And it's like, how are you winning all of this?
Well, and that is something that
Bolt. That's not right. Like,
and that is something that the original Superman movies kind of get right. Is it's not like he becomes a reporter, but that's just his job, and then eventually he like allows Lois to be the first to interview him or something, which
that's
to
the
him
scene
was
is
all,
like,
which to him is also kind of his own way of like his chance to spend time with her was kind of that implication, not just her interviewing Superman and helping her out. It's like he wants to spend time with her anyway and wants to know more about her. So that's kind of a two-way streak that he got with that.
Yeah, I just Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Terrific. I said he's cool. I want his because I just want to see how wacky it is. Like, it feels like the appropriate amount of comic wacky. With the blaxploitation kind of presentation, I liked it. It made me think of I Saw Him the whole time, which made me laugh. Maybe not the intention of James Gunn, but unfortunate overlap. I think if you see Mr. Terrific, you're going to see like, oh, I saw him.
Maybe considering Zack Snyder was
Vito.
on, maybe considering, Angus,
get out of here, corn boy.
Considering Zack Snyder was on a Geeks and Gamers stream, which was vaguely connected to Eric July. It's possible that James Gunn watched Eric July's Isom and went, "Wow, that's cool," or he watched The Blaze or something and was like, "Whoa,
someone should
Isom."
send James Gunn Isom. Watch should be part of the DC cinematic universe. But yeah, what's up, Vito? What are you doing up so late? I guess it's maybe earlier midday for you. I'm working overnight now for this month, so perfect. This is like midday for me. But how you doing, Vito? I did watch your Corn Boys. It was funny. Audio issues aside, you're kind of growing on me. Your Corn Boy. I want to see more Vito and Dirk. Let's see where this corn.
Where's it going? Where it be going?
I think the corn angle is like appropriately lame. I don't know if that was intention or not, but love it, Vito. Fucking finish the comic already. Just hurry up.
I want my George Floyd comic from Vito or whatever.
I forgot. Oh my god, I love when this is who they are. Rip a goalpost. It's like, look how much. Like, you see Vito squirming, like, oh god, this is funny, but fuck, this is horrible imagery.
Like, how am I supposed? I'm supposed to. We need to own ISOM 3 with Super Killer 1. Come on.
Yeah, Eric's putting out an omnibus. Vito, like, dude, you can't let him win.
An omnibus short bus.
Fuck, what is that?
Best I could do.
Harvey Dent. You can't give in.
What?
Harvey Dent in Dark Knight.
Oh yeah. You can't give it. Yeah.
When I first, every time I think of that scene, I'm like, fuck, is that Osborn from Spider-Man? It's like, no. Harvey Dent. Like, it always takes me a minute to
there you go.
Fucking clinch the memory. Like, yeah, Harvey Dent.
Wrong white guy. Different white guy.
Yeah. But yeah, Angela Straven liked it. So did Vito. I really don't get how anyone likes this movie. Even if you're a Superman fan, I just feel like this is just like TikTok slop. There's no heart. It doesn't matter if a person does good things. Like, it's kind of like Jordan Peterson talks about like being a nice guy, like that famous line of reasoning he has where it's like, you need to become a monster and then tame the monster like that. If you're just nice, because that's your default, because you're not like full scope male, what does that matter? You know, you're nice because you have to be. It means something if like you don't have to be. And that's kind of like, that's where you get Superman as like a character. Is like, look at all the might he holds. Look at his restraint against the bad guys. That's what makes him endearing. That's what makes him a character that overcomes him being overstacked as a hero with all his power. That's why he has stay power, aside from his iconography and his history. That's like a through line. And that's what I get with like Star Wars sequel trilogy compared to this, is like, when you look, if this is your first entry, you might be fine with it, but when you look back at the different permutations, you're gonna be like, oh man, this actually sucks. This has no like depth, you know? And so it's just a lot of meaningless schlock. And you know, I think there's always gonna be a contingent of people that are aware of like, oh, he's made from comic books. Those are just silly books for kids with cartoons. They're just always going to dismiss it. But the movies have had stay power and keep going because there's like a real thought pattern behind them beyond cartoon books, you know? And so me, besides Batman, I'm not a DC guy at all, but I want DC to do good legitimately, not just a number at the box. I want them to make good narratives to counter Marvel, keep them playing straight and keep them like honest, you know, making this stuff, not just slapping a logo on a product and making bank, because there's no competition. So that's why it matters to me not being a DC guy. And I definitely think about the zeros with EVS's take, on top of him being a Superman fanboy and being a DC artist for a long time, might skew his opinion a bit, but it really is a surprising commentary from him. I don't know. It's like, if you step out of comic knowledge, like, I don't think this is a good movie. It's TikTok brain. It's like the worst kind of slot.
Bell, R.I.P. Frank Whiteley, good. Nice list of thanks there.
Second.
So, and eating all the dog biscuits, very funny. Crypto is a mischievous mutt. Hilarious. All right,
do people like Crypto?
No.
Everybody, it sounds like everybody likes Crypto.
In one of the buildings in Metropolis.
What? Yeah? It's just a little off. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to take it apart and put it back together? No. It was just... Just what?
Huh.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out. Shouldn't have brought it up. Darn it, I can be such a jerk sometimes.
Perfect. Great movie. A+.
I like the...
Is he high? Is EVS high?
I know that's what you're saying. Like, I kind of like the last line where it sounds like Jim from The Office, but the tone is serious, where he's like, oh, I can be such, like, he's actually self-deprecating. It's not a ha ha ha, I'm such a jerk. You're like, no, he's, even though he might be smart, he's serious. So it's like, I don't know if I like the tone, but yeah, whatever. Like, that's far down the list for me for, you know, complaints. But yeah, I was just really shocked by this movie. Unfortunately, seems to be a success. We'll see you week 2. Let me see. Superman box office. Oh, all right. Is this Movie Web? I don't know how good they are. Is this the orange guy? No, it's not him. Let me pull this up. Share screen. It was so good. Wrong, EVS. I have such shock. Outside of comics, I think just film. I get you might hodgepodge all these different iterations, Superman and different tech in the hypnoglass, all that. That's fine when it's like Easter eggs, but motivation, what is someone taking away from it? It's just, hey, no Superman. Here he is again in a new form doing stuff. There's no depth. There's no heart. What's the sacrifice being Superman? You know, same problem with like Black Panther. What's the sacrifice being Black Panther? Nothing. That's why no one really cares about Black Panther besides Black. Superman is taking the box office and DC fans by storm, grossing $250 million worldwide. Is a hit with fans and critics, holds 83 Rotten Tomatoes. But while the figures suggest Superman has been a runaway success, a close look at the figures suggests a worrying trend for the DCU's future. And a new report has confirmed Superman wasn't the blockbuster sensation that Warner's DC Studios initially expected. Variety has revealed the reaction to Superman's international box office. While the film has kicked up a storm on U.S. shores, it may have found its kryptonite abroad. Of its staggering $250 million take, it only got $95 million international. It's not a bad performance, but Warner's needs Superman to be better than most movies if it is to act as the foundation for the future. According to the report, Warner Bros. General reaction to Superman's box office take was good enough. Although one box office fund summed up the reaction to Soup's international take. For Superman to be one of the biggest summer blockbusters, not to mention reset an entire universe, the film needed to pack more punch in its debut. Obviously, the following weeks will tell the true box office tale, but this has to be viewed as a slightly underwhelming start for DC and WB.
I don't know how big it needs to be to start. I mean, I don't know how big the franchise, like a franchise thing, needs to really begin. Sometimes they do start out small, so
yeah.
I don't think it needs to. I think that we've been in franchise world too long with a whole lot of these movies. Like a lot of them didn't start out with the biggest like things ever. I don't even know if Iron Man or the Batman had like that big a huge start when they began as far as financial. Like did well, sure, but I don't know how well they did.
Yeah. Well,
So.
I think if that's like Warner's inside take on this, I think that kind of echoes what I'm saying of like this doesn't have like resonance, you know. Because again, like what is he fighting for? What is his resolve to put on the cape? Especially after parents and like
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like people in general, though, this is like the film accomplished things that people wanted to see from Superman. Like again, saving people, getting injured, like protecting. They hit a lot of beats that a lot of people have wanted to see from Superman for a long time. So that I think is enough to get a lot of people to like it, even if there's a lot of other gobbledygook crap that goes on in the film. Like they'll just be like, no, but there's the stuff that they liked. So even though I think again the Pocket Universe stuff, the monkey things, the amount of things just going on in it's a little too much.
Okay, well this picture echoes what I'm saying. This would be like the EVS. What was his emotional low point? What was his like biggest? No, I have to save, or I failed. I came short. It's this random falafel brown person immigrant gets shot, you know, because he's connected to Superman because he sold him falafel. So like, hey, Superman, or whatever. Like that's all we really know about falafel guy. That's his low point. It's not his parents are at risk. It's not Lois. It's not the Earth. Like him dealing with the rift in Metropolis is kind of like, crap. It's not the low, the biggest emotional effort was him screaming at Lois, ball bagging about, I save people, and brown guy gets shot. So
yeah, I guess like I remember in Man of Steel, even though that movie sucked, like when he's like, after he like snapped Zod's neck, he was like, you know, he didn't want to resort to that.
Yeah, he killed his only relative. He killed his last relative, and he did it for a good reason. Like that, even if you want to say, oh, Superman never kills, blah, blah, like the situation he gets put in, it's like, well, you got to. This is reality, the way they present it. And so, yeah, it's like, that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said going in with this the trailers, Man of Steel is going to be safe. Its legacy is safe because it hits higher points of.
Well, in that point too, in that Snap Zod scene, is like he was choosing the people of Earth and his future on Earth compared to restoring or saving Krypton, and he chose to forget about Krypton and save Earth. So it's like, yeah, that's a more impactful scene.
Yeah, impact, resonance.
With that.
There's nothing. There's nothing in this movie with resonance. The relationship has no resonance with Lois. It's just like, it's like how they've managed Mary Jane and Spider-Man in the comics since One More Day or whatever. It's like, she's around, that could be, but they're never gonna go full bore and invest, because I think it kind of makes sense narratively to like leave Spider-Man open, but a lot of fans hate that. They want like the solidity of matrimony and investment with Mary Jane and Parker. So
yeah, and I think we're used to so many will they won't they's with superhero relationships. Having a solid, yeah, we're married and yeah, it's going good is good change of pace.
Daniel Warren is saying Superman was very underwhelming for me. I can't understand such positive hype around it, to be honest. I've heard TikTokers said it's easily top 5 comic books all time. Like, what? Yeah. Future is not looking bright in a lot of ways. But it's funny. I saw this Mike Rowe, so unrelated, but I saw this Mike Rowe video where he's talking about trades. Obviously, he's a tradesman and stuff, dirty jobs. And he's talking about some guy that coordinates workers to make submarines. It's like they need I think it's like 10 submarines a year or 7 submarines a year, something like that. And it's like, we can't get anybody because everyone's just doing college and bullshit degrees. I don't know. It's just like, I see pop culture, then I see something like Micro talking about real industry shortcomings of this country and what we're like told to seek out. I think Larry Fink or one of these big tech guys, like, we need like 500,000 engineers tomorrow. Like,
well, people might be second guessing submarines after the Titanic too, or whatever, or the little
the Titanic. I was like, you talking about the ship that sunk 100 years? What?
No,
we've had submarines circle the Earth. Rookie, what are you talking about?
No, the rich people. They're like, we're gonna go to submarine, and then they got killed.
We're gonna steer it with a computer game controller.
Yes, and then people might be like, okay, don't want that as a job right now.
Sorry, Vito, if you're still there, I know that story triggers Vito.
Why?
He was like really upset when we're all laughing at the billionaire and his kid that died.
Well, yeah, it sucks that he died, but like it sucks a lot of people died. So
the kid got guilted for like Father's Day or for the birthday. It's like, oh, come on, son, it's my birth. It's Father's Day. Come on the submarine with me.
You could have gone to the zoo and they went in a submarine. I don't know what to say.
Hey, I would pick when I was a kid, I wanted to be in the Navy. Before I just accepted I can't swim and join the Army. And yeah, I was obsessed with submarines. So U-571, K-19. Didn't really watch Das Boot. Never got into Das Boot, but if it was in my periphery, I would have like invested heavily because I fucking love submarines. Because such cool, it's like sneaky, you got like aircraft carriers are cool, destroyers, battleships, that's cool. Kennedy on the PT-109, but submarines, it's like that subtle like spycraft kind of vehicle.
Well, because it's kind of like a spaceship but underwater.
Yeah, I love submarines when I was a kid. Now I'd be like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. They got a Pacific Front submarine in Oklahoma. I don't know what the story is of how they transported a submarine to Oklahoma of all places, but yeah, if you go to Muskogee, they got the Batfish, and it's a World War II Pacific Fleet submarine. It's served in action. It's pretty cool, but it's also like, shit, this stuff is like really cramped. Really gives you perspective what those guys deal with. All Navy ships are just made to be cramped as fuck, but the difference between the aircraft carrier compartments versus submarine is very, Stark for the same era, like World War II. Because I was on I want to say down in Corpus Christi. I want to say they have the, I think it's the Saratoga. Let me see. Corpus Christi Aircraft Carrier. Lexington. Never mind, it's the Lexington. That is, if you can go on an aircraft carrier tour, Ricky, you definitely got to go. That is an experience to see military might that we've accomplished. That is very daunting to go upon an aircraft carrier. It's its own city. I think they legally have like their own zip codes when they're deployed for mail and stuff.
Well, I'll have to keep mine out for the Japs.
That's the other thing, dude. Being an aircraft carrier is not safe because kamikazes.
Don't want to become part of the set of the reboot of Pearl Harbor.
Actually, let me look this up. Let me stop sharing. I think I heard some crazy fact. I want to verify it. Aircraft carriers by country. Okay. United States has 11 aircraft carriers, all of which are nuclear powered and large. China has 3, with 1 undergoing sea trials. India, Italy, and UK each operate 2. France, Russia, Spain, and Turkey each have 1. Japan has 2.
No, does Iran have 1? Just kidding.
Iran does have sea access in the Persian Gulf and the Caspian Sea. So wouldn't be crazy if they did, but their opponents, I don't think it's really necessary. People around them, like, because Iraq's destabilized. I guess it'd be worthwhile if Saudi Arabia had one. Like, it'd be worth it.
In my head, I'm like imagining them, like, the midgets that have, like, they throw like a spear and then it's like a toothpick, or like, they throw like a weight, but it's like a little olive. But Iran throws like a nuke, and it's like, you threw a little thing at me. How cute.
12. So we have 11. The rest of the world together has, I think, 15. Just to give you like perspective of like our investment in aircraft carriers.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. But I'll close this out with some fun. Not FUN fun. Well, actually, it kind of is FUN fun. I don't know if you saw this, Ricky. There's some good stuff here. So Shane Gillis, I don't know if you've seen any of his comedy lately, but he did some crazy jokes at the ESPYs. This is one of the best ones. Let me pull this up. This is WNBA focused. As you know, everyone loves the subsidized WNBA. Here we go.
Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. Clap for
that. What a way to one up fucking Bill Burr's WNBA commentary. I'm trying to find. He had a couple other good ones. I just got to scroll and find them. Let me see. I know I got some in the messages. Let me see. Did you see the Coldplay? You see that Coldplay fiasco?
No.
Oh, this is hilarious. Let me show you this. Fuck. Let me go back. Okay, let me show you this. This is what a way to get outed. Here we go. This is at a Coldplay concert, I think, the other day.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
They were having an affair. That is the HR lady and the CEO of a company.
All right.
Can you imagine that, Rookie? You're just trying to get some strange from the office, go to a concert, snuggle up, enjoy the music, and hey, how about we show you to the whole fucking world? Whoops.
All part of the plan. All part of the plan.
Whoopsies. Oh my god, I can't imagine that. Let's see. Is this one it? Oh, okay, yeah. Gillis did a Epstein joke as well. Perfect. Here we go.
Very topical.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. It deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
Yeah, let's just ignore it, yeah.
Gillis is like a big Trump guy. He loves Trump, but like he's like, man, Trump, fuck Trump. But then like, oh, they know what the fuck they're doing. He's like, I'm back. So Gillis is like all of us, kind of like in and out with Trump. We're like, oh my god. Oh, you can, okay, that was cool. Sugar back in Coke? Gavin Newsom, libtard California governor, is even getting on trolling Trump for the Epstein list. A big Democrat governor, a guy that was enforcing COVID rules while he's out literally having like dinner parties, despite all the restrictions on businesses and stuff and going to church. Even this guy's getting in on like, wow, real sugar and Coke? I totally forgot about the Epstein list.
Drink and forget. Drink and forget.
Man, what a time to be alive for, you know, having, imagine like if Twitter was around in like the 60s with Kennedy getting shot, like how much political shenanigans have we missed just because we couldn't like all blast it in public, like while we're on the toilet, you know?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. But no, this is the Snyder meme I shared in closing. I thought it was funny. It says when Snyder fans get caught enjoying new Superman in theaters. And here's Snyder tard B.A. Turner, like real ones like me won't go see it. And it's like, does your commentary matter then? Like,
remember, there's that premeditated boycott prior that was like, all right, everybody, here's what you need to do to damage this movie. Don't go see it. Encourage people to not see it. You leave fake reviews that say it sucks or something. They'll have their robots.
Let's look. Let me see if I can find any Snyderverse boycott. Let's see if there's anything.
I thought you were going to type in like Snyder tard boycott.
No, they are Snyder tards. You know, like that's what's frustrating for me in the Superman movies. Like, I want the Snyderverse to like not have validity, but then you make slop like Superman 25, and it's like, well, this is just going to keep hanging around. Like, you've had 13 years to make a better story than, oh, obviously Snyderverse sucks. Okay, here's 13 years to write a better story. Oh, actually, you didn't make anything better.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to find any. Okay, let's just go through my feed, what I'm finding of boycotters. Because like, unlike with Star Wars, we're like boycott, like we just didn't see Solo and it bombed. These people are like copium. They pretend like we're the biggest fans. We have the share of DC fandom. We'll dictate the narrative. We'll dictate what they'll make.
It's like they also didn't support Rebel Moon at all. It's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like if Rebel Moon was a success because Snyder is such a like draw, why is he putting it on the back burner for like some LA SWAT movie?
Yeah, if they have the numbers that they think they do, then wouldn't they've done great just by them watching?
July 11th. No Snyderverse. No money. Bring back Henry Cavill. Restore the Snyderverse. Henry Cavill Superman. Let me see latest. Here we go. Some people are boycotting the Snyderverse because of Gal Gadot. Because she's an IDF Zionist, so
Angus, no.
Let's see what this says. Let's see. So Superman outperformed. Then they're asking Grok. Let me see. Did the failed Snyderverse hurt box office potential? Yes, the Snyderverse's mixed reception and failures, Justice League Backlash, contributed to DC fatigue and fan division, potentially capping Superman's ceiling and boycott calls from loyalists. However, Gunn's optimistic reboot has overcome this with a strong buzz. So even Grok's like, you don't matter. That's why, it's like, narratively, I think Snyderverse has, with the first two films, has like legitimate aspects that are redeeming. And not overcome it's flawed writing. It's like frustrating because like I want these people gone because they're fucking cancer. But apparently there's more like boycott Snyderverse stuff in the ether. It's just interesting. But let me see. I feel like I got a couple of videos to show. Might be funny. Regardless of how we feel about the shitfest known as Superman 25, there are things we can unite around. Oh, this was great. I love this kind of humor. Let's present.
Don't you even dare.
Don't you even dare.
Don't you dare bring that shit up.
I am 9/11. I am 9/11.
I experienced it as a child, so it's mine. I was alive for it. Did I mention I was alive for the events that transpired? Did you know I was in school at the time? Or it was a morning. The events transpired during a morning.
We had to go home from fucking school.
Fucking respect for the fact that I'm a little older than you. It was on television. Just get out of my face. Just get out of my face.
Oh, I know what I want to show you. Let me see. And what's his name? Russo. Come on. I'm trying to find this Russo guy. TikTok. His name? I don't have him ready. Remember that video where it's like the guys are all like, "Hey, how do we do the one gorilla versus 100 men?" And the guy's like,
yeah.
I'll jerk him off." Like,
yeah.
That guy. I feel like I've seen something recently of his that I wanted to show you, and I don't know his name's Russo, but I don't know his. It's not. No, it's not him. Russo, come on. What the fuck is Anthony? I think it might be Anthony. So, I'll figure it out for next show. Anything you want to talk about, Ricky, before we go, or you saw?
No. The Casino was great. Casino was really good.
Yeah, we watched Casino, and fuck, what else did we watch?
Nobody. I liked that as well.
Yeah, or we're getting back into Better Call Saul. I watched Nobody and Casino. Tell us about Casino because you're the rookie critic. So Casino, thoughts, experience?
Yeah, I thought. I could sort of see why Scorsese would say that Marvel can be like a roller coaster, and it's just la-di-da-di-do because my eyes were glued to the movie the whole time, and it's like it does a very good job of making me want to focus on what's going on. A good style using, the whole time they're narrating stuff going on while they're showing it and doing it, and sometimes in the scene doing stuff, but they'll also, like, I don't know, having them narrate it just was a good addition as well. Just like, yeah, so then they was doing this, and whatever. They're, the way they say things kind of jokish, but then, like, I don't know, I kind of like to the aspect with, like, every little job, there's all these little jobs inside the casino that they got to deal with and deal with cheaters, and there's different elaborate types of cheaters and whatnot. People could be trying to intentionally screw you over or not. The way that they have different respect with other criminal people, they're like, okay, they'll respect us if we do this or that. We don't need to break their legs today. We'll just let them know it's our turf, whatever. There's, I don't know, they really made me want to have a lot of money. Like the amount of money they show, it's weird. I know it's like obvious, but it's like the amount of money that they show on screen and like all the card flipping and everything. It's like this kind of looks fun. Like they made a casino look like a really fun compared to other places that it's just kind of a generic location that you're at. This was like kind of made it seem kind of cool. And the accents, the Italian sort of accents with it all, pretty good. It sucks that our boy had to marry such a he's pretty much a cuck with this, because she's like interested in another dude the whole time and giving away money. And he's like, oh, you can just have $2 million if blah 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 happens. Here's this box, and it's like, ah, man, crazy. Yeah, nice and good, really good.
My experience at casinos, I was only in Vegas as a kid, so I never like went into. But from Oklahoma, we got casinos because the Indian Nations, and it's mostly slots. Like a few of the bigger ones, they do have like card games and shit. But yeah, it's like just full of old. I think I've seen videos about this where it's like just old people just rot away, just fucking
the slots and shit.
EVS talked about this, with the gambling and shit. And it's just. The multitude, the masses that are in the casinos, the slots and shit. It's just like, this is what your retirement is summed up to be. Like, this is your life, is just rotting away in some corporate environment to steal the little money you have. Like, it's one thing. Like, he talks about playing cards, interacting with people, trying to in some way game the system, like be aware. Like, he has like his. How would you say it? Like, he kind of knows the system. He knows like what he's looking for. He gets a feel for it. He's invested.
He has sort of the tell. He has like the tells. He can sort of see the vibe of the room, what's going on.
Wait, why would you not want to be like Travis Bickle is a flawed icon. He's a flawed hero. That's endearing. He is an icon. He's something to aspire to be. He's flawed, I mean, I agree with his view on certain things, but overall, he is a hero. He is a hero of the modern day. He's not Achilles. He's not from a time that valued honor. He's a product of like the 70s America. Post Vietnam.
Yeah, I guess that was another thing with the movie I really enjoyed. It was just the lack of like modern cell phones and the amount of TV or electronics. It was very surprisingly, yeah. But like it was just like a nice vibe, and yeah, people, the way they're focusing on the classiness sort of it, and the average person trying to go there, and I don't know, it seemed. And it was a good angle, I guess, with it, because I don't know how many films showcase from like the casino's perspective. I mean, there's probably some that do. I just haven't seen that many myself. But
if anyone doubts Scorsese, just know that this movie makes you root for the Jew, and it's not Jesus Christ. Like, what a feat!
Yeah, well, it's just like, I don't know, if you ask me, like, the most like known casino scenes people think of are like what, James Bond ones or something. Like, maybe there's other ones in movies, but James Bond, typically he just goes to the table, shaken, not stirred, and I win, Octopussy or whatever. He'll say something. I haven't seen enough of the movies to know how all that goes down. But and then this whole movie is about the casinos, but then also like gangsters and weird relationships here. Like, he's like, oh, I love this chick, but it's like, dude, wrong chick. obviously, no way. Before you got married, this bitch is talking to somebody else and crying. Like, dude, like, no, hell no. But
I
yeah,
think that's legitimate for guys in power. They think that like they can hold the fort down. They test fate.
Yeah,
you know?
part of the flaw, exactly. Yeah, but still, like and that is part of what made it engaging to watch as well. And then, Joe Pesci's character, the little short guy, that's kind of the tough guy with all this. Yeah, I can kick your ass too. Yeah, you looked at my friend wrong over there. Okay, yeah. He's just like he's a funny presence to see on screen and just fun when you hear him talk and get going. But that's Robert De Niro. I never saw the two together on screen, so this is a fun thing. I always see, if anything, most things I've seen him in, he's usually the butt of the joke. Joe Pesci. He's usually kind of like in Lethal Weapon and in Home Alone. He gets comeuppance happening to him. He's never usually the tough guy. So
I think he's
kind of like that
in Goodfellas. I don't like Goodfellas.
I don't think I've seen Goodfellas.
It's good, but it doesn't have like the resonance. It doesn't like stick with me like Casino. But I'm sure he's in it. I've seen memes recently. I've watched it like a year or two ago. I've seen it repeatedly, but I want to say I've been seeing memes of like when you come into work on Monday, it's like a scene of when they're about to like whack him.
Yeah, but like I guess it's weird. I'm saying it from like an opposite perspective, where most people see him in all these tough movies as Italian, and then they see him in goofy things. But like I've only seen him in goofy things, and then I see him as like a tough role. That makes me like him more as an actor, I guess.
See,
with it,
you're saying he's like an anti-hero or a bad guy. He tries to shoot a senator. It's like, how much better would America be if we did that? Like, you're only making me like Travis more. I already liked him, Sanov. Don't tell me more. But no,
yeah,
narratively that is like a midpoint, and yeah, that's like he's toying with villainy and selfish motives, and then the child hooker kind of gives him focus, and he focuses rage, and he does good. He's a hero. He's a flawed hero of modernity. New tale for a new age.
Anyway, and then Nobody was also nice and good. I didn't realize it was the Better Call Saul actor right away. But I was like, it's giving like a Better Call Saul kind of vibe the way this is going. And you're like, well, yeah, like of course. And yeah, that one's. I don't have as much to say about Nobody, but I thought it was pretty good.
It's like a good John Wick. Like when you see the full scope of John Wick, it really just sours me on even the first movie.
Yeah, it's like the first John Wick is good, but yeah, the more you expand, the worse it gets. And Nobody is like, it's just like a John Wick that doesn't expand its world too much. It's like, okay, good. We like this part so far. So good.
Wait, what is this sci-fi you're talking about, Sanov? Is this a channel I should investigate? Let me know.
But I'm sure we saw some other things recently. We saw most of Twilight.
Yeah, I actually checked out Twilight 4, so I'm ready to go. When you're ready to rent we've been investigating the Twilight series out of more curiosity, because I never invested in it when it was like popular, and
yeah, we avoided that.
You're a young man, and you see this like sparkling vampires, you write off, then you actually invest in it. Like, it might just be kind of like how some people view the prequels now because of the sequels, where it's like, oh, those weren't so bad. Like me, I'm a Star Wars fan because of the prequels, and they only get better. They only get more valuable and nuanced the more I watch them, the older I get. But Twilight's weird because it's like retroactively you look back at like Raylos and you see like, oh, they've spun off from like Twilight fandom, putting the pieces together. But you see like they don't make love stories to sell girls anymore, and so you look at Twilight, it's like, that's actually good. However corny or lame it is as a guy, you see like, here is this high school into adulthood love triangle. You got this like retooled princess narrative where this prince of aristocracy who just sees this normie like Cinderella for the true value of like her, not even knowing like whatever power they're going to unfold with her in the next two movies. But he sees like the inherent value of her as a woman and instantly adores her and must have her and stakes his whole family's well-being at stake to have and protect her. And and then you have like she gets tempted with this fallout because like I don't know if we could be together or whatever. Get this entanglement interest with the brown guy, and it's like this age-old conflict. And she's tempted by the brown guy, but ultimately she stays racially pure. So there's that like political racial element to it as well. There's one vampire, it's from the South, from Texas. He was in the Confederacy. And when he's like giving them info of like why he can lead them in military drills or whatever, he gives them the experience like, oh, I was in the Confederacy in Texas. And she's never like, you promoted slavery, blah, blah, blah. She's just like, okay. Like there's never finger wagging about that point, which would not pass today at all. They would make a point to definitely like have him hate himself for being on the wrong side. And I'm not like pro Confederacy, but it's like both sides make sense why the everyday man would fight for either side. Especially like the Confederacy, it's like they're getting invaded. So it's like they're just the everyday guy's like, well, I'm just protecting my homeland at the end of the day. Like most Confederates never had slaves. They're too poor, like it's an elitist thing to have slaves. People don't understand that in modernity. But it's just like a lot of good things where it's like, we need, however lame it might sound, we need Twilights. If we're talking about this fertility problem, this dating problem, we watch like whatever cast, see these dumb feminist bitches saying the most like anti-male, like, I don't care if males are low, I don't care if they're suffering and blah blah blah, they deserve it, fuck them, they're all rapists. All this kind of rhetoric that keeps permeating with women and this attitude that divides us. Twilight is a remedy. Twilight is like an example.
They touch on, this is the first one that I've seen, I guess, like the vampire, like a female vampire perspective of like she's dating this vampire and then she's dreaming about aging. She's like, oh grandma, what are you doing here, old lady? And then that's her. And then it's like, oh no, aging, I need to be a vampire pronto. And the vampires are like reluctant to have her become one, which if you guys ever, in school we read Tuck Everlasting, which was like a mortality versus immortality sort of story in general. And I don't know, it touches on that sort of thing too, where it's like, yeah, I love you and all, but like this isn't, I have to kill you to like make you one of us, and that is not good. And they remember their deaths and what that kind of does to you a little. It's not just always going to be a genuine transfer of your personality to your new form necessarily. And they all took a lot of training to get to where they are, to not be just beast killers, which, as lame as the vampires may seem in Twilight, like there's some aspects of vampirism that they take that others don't. And
also,
and like they go to schools, but they got to change schools because they don't age. So it's like, yeah, you'll be there too long. People will suspect and whatever. I guess they're at that age. They can't just be doing whatever they want all the time in one area.
Well, what's funny too is the transition from 2 to 3 is you notice like the casting gets better. They cast hotter, more mainstream actresses for the women characters. They
get more hot chicks.
They
in
have
there.
like Kirsten Stewart and Alice, which they're great. But then they like up the ante with like the sister and then the redhead villain. They recast her as Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh my god! Before she was in Jurassic World, which she's great all the time, but I'd say Jurassic World's like her like peak femininity. But younger Bryce Dallas Howard's like that's some good stuff there, especially the curly like Irish hair. Oh my god,
yeah,
love it.
Exactly. When it's like, and it's funny, like the background characters that aren't important, the friends, like just give like a fun vibe, I guess, instead of being like drab. But like the movies are gray and kind of dull, but like the characters aren't as dull as they might seem, or as by contrast to the vampires, like the people around are like fine. And that was like just a nice funny touch, I guess. Like everybody's like, oh, we're baking cookies and having a great time and doing whatever things were silly.
Why didn't you get on that bike, Bella? Gosh, you could have died. Like it's all just everyone's looking out for each other. Everyone's happy. There's just this like, because of the heritage divide, there's a divide between the werewolves. It overlaps with whites and Indians, but reasonably so. And
there's the white guy that gets that tries to. He's like, I can go out with you, Bella. And then
brings
the
fucking Jacob
brings Jacob along as a third wheel. I was like, oh, that was poor guy. Poor guy.
And it's like, oh, he's actually a total pussy. Like,
yeah, entirely.
Thinking, like, oh, we can see this like rom-com. You're thinking like, oh, he's trying to like, really smooth it over with Bella, really like lay it on. It's like, oh no, he's actually a bitch. He could not handle the violence of a masculine movie, which is funny.
Yeah.
It sucks. You're like, he's actually a nice guy. Don't know what happened with the previous girlfriend from the friend group, but they seem fun to be friends. But it's like, it's quaint, actually. It's funny. It's like, I feel Rookie and any guy that would actually invest in, objectively watch these would find value that women wouldn't. They're just like, like it's mommy porn. It's like moms, the women that are now fucking high schoolers that are teachers now, if we went back 10 years, these are the moms that were hiding it better or like, abstaining. And so this was their outlet, was watching Team Edward, Team Jacob. They were reinvesting in their youth. And so it's funny to like be aware of that idea too, watching these. And it's just like, it's good, wholesome movie. It's a modern princess narrative that adds, again, like I said, when you do monsters, you're trying to sell to women, they gotta be cute like Grogu, or they gotta be fuckable like Dracula.
They don't want to actually be scared. They want to actually be scared. They don't want to be scared.
That's how you get women to watch monsters. Like Shape of Water is a great example. It's just Beauty and the Beast inverted with like, the creature from the Black Lagoon, which is a good movie. It's a good movie, but that is like a very surface level takeaway.
Yeah. Well, the father in this isn't treated bad at all. He's just like
a nice
he's
got
father
a
trying to
wife who's now with some MLB guy, and they're bouncing around. And you got like the stable dad that stayed and kept a stable home despite the breakup, and is there for his daughter.
He's like part of the police force. Part of the police force of a small town. I don't know. There's like that small town wholesomeness too as well, sort of there.
Yeah, it's like whenever you hear people degrade Twilight and dismiss it, you'd be like, that's an American classic. You shut the fuck up.
Oddly enough, so far,
Team
crazy
Edward,
as that may sound. Crazy as that may sound, guys. Crazy as that may sound.
Totally
not bad.
Team Edward.
Not bad.
Team Edward. Team Jacob is for pussies. It's funny too. In the third one, they start ratcheting up. Like, I don't know if it's in the book or if it's just like the writer's awareness for the dueling of the teams, Team Jacob, Team Edward in the fandom. But it's like, oh, we're in the mountains because we're gonna find the enemy vampire. So my family's down there hunting. We're gonna hide up here. Oh, here's the problem. We're in the mountains, though. It's cold. Bella needs warmth, and I'm a dead person. So, man, she's got to snuggle my mortal romantic enemy, Jacob, and he like rubs it in. And then they're even bonding. Where it's like, wasn't for Bella, we could probably be buddies. Like, it's just it's
the bros talking. Yeah, it was kind of funny. It's like, the bros are talking here. It's a weird situation. It's a weird, three-way cuck situation, sort of. But
you're not as hot as me, and it's like it's a dual meaning there because he's literally the warmth unit. He's the heater, but he's also like, oh, Taylor Lautner, he's so hot. It's like feels like it's a meta awareness when they wrote that, and it's like these are kind of fun. Like, wait, Team Twime? What? No, you gotta watch them all, Sanov. We're on 4.
We had 2 more to go.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Highly suggest it.
I'm enjoying it far more than the fucking Hunger Games. God, those bored me to sleep, man.
No, Hunger Games is great. No, Hunger Games 1's pretty good, but yeah, it's definitely
you literally fell asleep.
Definitely.
You literally fell asleep.
You're talking about me working day shift, 12-hour days. So yeah, I'm going to fall asleep at like 1 in the morning. Sorry. It's bound to happen. But no, it's funny to go back and see these things with like fresh eyes more maturity, despite all the fun we're having, laughing at certain parts. It's surprisingly. I wish they made movies like this. Like they stopped. So it's kind of funny when you look at the big picture, like I said, with the dating commentary, toxic masculinity, feminism, just loneliness epidemic because of social media and games and whatever. People just isolating. Kids aren't drinking anymore because they're worried about social media backlash, or they're trying to be influencers. Like, kids aren't drinking because they're smarter. They're looking at like the past and be like, oh, I don't want to drink and drive. It's like, no, they're worried about outside like perception, because like, it's the whole like, don't grade a paper with red ink because it triggers kids, like, because we've like weakened ourselves,
But don't give them an F because they'll feel like they failed.
Yeah, like,
don't call them a failure. You got to call them a non-successor or something. Like,
yeah, even if there is like the one that I'm aware of that's like big with teens, like I know of it because I'm interested in Greek mythology. So if it's Lore Olympus, but it's like, what I know, little I've read, it's like the big thing is like it's commentary on SA, so it's not even like really the relationships. I don't know. It's like that's the thing with like Superman, the relationship of Lois and Clark. You think you would like add some new factor to it, or oh, they're such a cute couple, they're the ideal couple, the classic comic couple. But that movie feels like the relationship's not earned either way. It feels like, why are they together exactly? Like, they're just fire and ice in the worst kind of way, it seems, conceptually.
Because
like,
he saves people.
Yeah, like him saving people, and she's like, well, was it like legally ethical?
No, she enjoys that he saved a squirrel. I'm sure. Now, you know what? He saved a squirrel, and now it's going to become his sidekick. It's going to be his little sidekick. That's the other thing I forgot to say in this. I told Ricky, but in the kaiju sequence, there's so many things wrong with the kaiju sequence with tone and awareness of the bigger picture of what like the scenario they're in. But like Justice Gang comes in and they're like trying to game plan, and then eventually they kill it because Mr. Terrific like puts a bomb in its gut basically. And then Superman's like bemoaning it, where he's like, oh, we could have like, humanely euthanized it or sent it to another universe. And you can say, oh, that's like Superman's just always looking for the best outcome. Oh, that's totally Superman. Like, regardless, it's just like, what a like Bambi pussy. Well, Superman, why don't you use your kaiju capturing net device to fucking neutralize it and do that? Like, what? Are we gonna take more time? It's like, is that why you didn't kill it, Superman? You took your time fucking around with it so it can kill more people potentially, and so you can humanely take it down.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really match the saving like a girl from like getting impaled by traffic barriers or something,
But that would be funny.
Like,
seriously,
if he euthanized it. Like,
if he literally saves the squirrel and then he looks back and then a girl gets stabbed, it's like, oh man, I didn't save them both. That would be actually funny.
That actually happened in Germany. There was this Muslim, like literally he was like Allahu Akbaring in Germany, stabbing people, and some bystander went to like tackle him, and then the cop shows up and attacks the white guy saving people, and so then the cop gets stabbed and later died in the hospital. And it's like, that is the quintessential story of like immigration and modernity.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. Like, see, because James Gunn has this weird sense of humor. You've seen Super, so like he has the potential to make that kind of storyline in a less like corporate story. Like, I think he'd be great if they got him on The Boys. I think he'd make some good shit with them, or like Invincible as a director for the story. That would be like a funny like whoops,
Yeah.
Oh, he was the bad guy. Ah,
Well, I guess also it could be like, like a Green Goblin scene where it's like, choose your girl or the children, and he chooses the squirrel and not the children.
He's like, the girl you love or suffer the little children.
Yes.
Man,
but then but then he ignores but then he ignores them and saves the squirrel. And then it's like, oh. And then he gives it to his squirrel parents, and it's like, oh, you saved little Chipper. Now he'll grow up to become his own squirrel. He'll grow up to become Squirrel Girl. That'll be that origin.
This weird praise of Superman, it feels like is irritating to me as like Alita Battle Angel or something. It's like akin to that, where it's like, it is my mission to destroy this because it's like this is an abomination, and it's not even for the sake of the medium of like super. I hate Superman, but it's like I keep Christopher Reeves. He's like the pinnacle. What I don't care. Like that makes sense. Cavill, fine. There's redeeming qualities there narratively. This, what the fuck is this? This is no hero. Like, yeah, he's hero. He does good stuff, but like, there's no why. You know,
I mean, I save people because I save people. Well, okay, but like,
yeah, it's the
why do you
logic
save
of
people?
like, oh, because harm, do what you want as long as it's not harming. It's literally like that's why I was bringing up that debater guy, because like he'll do these defining terms thing with debaters with these libtards, like the girl from Jubilee, the like black girl with the dreads, and he's like, well, so what's your worldview? What's like your guiding principle? And obviously he has like a more sound counter because like, well, I'm Christian. I have the Bible, I have Jesus, I have the Orthodox Church and the I don't know what they call like their council of bishops, because it's not like the cardinals, like not Catholic, but similar. Even though I would say that's still flawed and arbitrary at the end of the day, it's like it's well thought out versus like, like don't harm people. And it's like, yeah, but your logic allows for like trans kids mutilating themselves. So like that's harmful because a lot of them kill themselves later. Like, and that's the problem is like when you make a hero and his whole initiative is just like surface level goodness, vaguely, what is that? Batman's flawed because he is like an egomaniac. He has a messiah complex. At the end of the day, he deifies his parents, and they were victims. They were like philanthropists and then victims to crime. And so
he chooses to do something to try to stop crime.
He projects that on every victim or potential victim, so that is his guiding principle. It's in depth, Superman, I don't really know what his guiding principle is.
Well, it's like, Spider-Man, of course, he at first tries to do selfish things with it, and then is like, it's not just what Uncle Ben says, but it's his own experience anyway. Of even if Uncle Ben never said it, I think he'd maybe realize he needs to do something more important than just his own selfish stuff, like his own thing got his uncle killed. So it's like you got to be more careful, at least. Something.
Yeah, I think that's what people, to give a one up, or to throw a bone, I guess, to the Snyder tards with the not saving Paul Kent, which I don't agree with. I think that's dumb, but to give them a bone in the thought process, I think it's trying to layer the whole. It's the flood story. I think it's in the next movie, but he tells them that flood story about. Oh, you like dammed up the river or whatever, dammed up the border, saved her cows, saved her farm. Like, turned out we killed everyone else's.
Right. Yeah.
I think that is like the underlying logic of like, you think you're doing good in the short term. What is the long-term effects? What's the echo? What's the ripple? I think that's the logic of that scene.
Well, I'd say that's also maybe like the Civil War scene, like the Civil War movie of Marvel, where it's like you're doing good, but how well are you doing good? Like a lot of you destroyed the Chitauri, but like you destroyed so many buildings in the process. You like potentially injured or killed people while doing it. You didn't really take care of this in the best way you could have, maybe. So you're using your power and you're saving people, but you're not really. How effective are you in it? And even Stark doesn't like at first. Like Stark at first is kind of sloppy, but he really tries to become a collateral damage control as much as possible with all his tech that he makes. So that's like trying to prevent those forces upstream.
Our conversation is creating its own little mini fight here. I don't know if it's really a fight, but it's definitely a duel of some kind. So I was like, just leave it alone. People enjoy it. We're getting Clayface. It's like, oh well, we're getting Clayface regardless. you know, it's like this movie, even if it tanked, it's not going to just offset like their initial plans. They're going to go 2 or 3 movies in before they're like, okay,
Yeah,
no
well,
gun.
People can enjoy it, that's fine, but we're gonna rip on it too. That's what we shall do.
Daniel says, I never once felt emotional at any part. I kept hearing about people saying they were bawling, crying, and then Sanav's like, okay, I don't understand that. I feel like that with this whole movie. I'm watching a different movie than everyone else, apparently. So I was like, hey, if the majority of people like it, we are the minority, we don't matter, so what can we do? Well, I don't know. The Muslim conquest of Spain would not have been reversed with that attitude. I'll just say that. That's not even an attack on Islam. It's just like that's what happened. They had Spain, like almost a done story. There was like a sliver left, and somehow the Reconquista happened. And it's a Christian nation, not an Islamic one. So never give up hope is the takeaway. We can take this down. And honestly, it's because James, if it was just a random name who came in and then did this, whatever. But it's James Gunn, and I don't revere James Gunn. Like, it's not the end all be all, but he has a name and he has a great body of work with Guardians of the Galaxy, keeping it fairly grounded despite being a galactic story, especially the third one, to like really bring it home, ground it, not get sucked up into multiverse or whatever. And then Super is such a good personal story. So like, that's just, I just know a superhero show. I don't know if I've seen other stuff of his, but you see what he can do, the depths he can go, even within corporate creation. That's, I think that's another reason he got to like hold his feet to the fire and really grill him and make him hurt when it sucks like this, not reward him and make it known. And yeah, it's my dude. Force Awakens made $2 billion. Look at where Star Wars is at now. So,
well, and
I will take this shit down. I'm here for the long term.
Well, and I think Mahler and them were saying too that like they like kind of how Marvel was starting and how they kind of built up with like Iron Man, of course, is not even like a or B tier character in the Marvel world, and it's like with DC they keep on starting with the heaviest hitters and sucking lately. Or you know, Batman's fine, but that's like been constant. But like, you know, they couldn't do like a more obscure-ish, like a less A tier character or something to start their universe with. They always, let's throw Superman now, and he's just already in, and there's Super League, and there's all these things, and Pocket Universe. It's like, I don't know where y'all are going forward, and I'm not looking forward to wherever they go going forward. It's crazy. Like, it's just okay. Good luck paying attention to this franchise. Like, no thanks.
This guy. Okay, I found him. I found who I was looking for, Ricky. What? Okay, I was about to say it's going to make me have a fuck Andrew. Okay. Let me find which video I'm looking for. He's done a recent one that's like, ooh, that was good. All right, Andrew. There he is. All right, let's see. Media. One sec. Would you rather see rage baiters or Diddy freak off as like the concept of the video?
I guess rage baiters.
Okay. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Backy? Let's see. I feel like James Gunn treatment is great as an accessory to something already going, but his style should never be at the forefront of the cinematic universe. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily.
I don't know exactly, but
he helped write fucking Infinity War. That was pretty good. So no, he's fine as a creative. I just like he is balancing a lot, and it's his experience in Marvel is like, all right, we're already doing good. Let's experiment. Let's see how far we can push the boundary. That's what
who knows what the studio made him do either. You know?
That's what Guardians is, where it's like, all right, we feel very confident. Let's experiment. That's what Guardians was. DC is like, hey, fix us.
Yeah.
So, I cut them slack in that way, and it's like they're aware of like we can't just do an origin because we've seen it already. Blah blah blah. Let's just get to it, And so they're kind of borrowing from like the Justice League 08 that didn't happen, where it's like you're just gonna jump in the world. That's a good move because we've had Super Friends, had the Justice League Unlimited, Batman and Superman animated. Like we got entries. This has permeated the American psyche to various degrees. So you can just jump in versus Marvel. Besides Spider-Man, maybe X-Men, you got to really invest the time with Origins. So I'm aware of that. So it's like, it's my problems is really just like, what is the emotional core? That's why I'm so bothered with like this weird I would say recency effect of like, oh, it's I like it. Who did that? And it's like, what, like, why, And it's like, I feel like I'm in the position of Mahler where people are like, well, if you ruined someone liking a movie because you like explained the plot, like, isn't that kind of mean or bad? And it's like, if people had their brains off and enjoy something, then like they watched me and like thought about what they saw and then came away with a different opinion, like that's not my fault. So I'm taking on that like, crusade now. So far, if it improves, I'll totally be on board because I do want these to be good. I do want to enjoy. I would like to be invested in DC as much as like Marvel. Marvel's just instantly a draw because they're characters.
Well, even their bad movies are sometimes a draw in the Marvel because it's like, well, how bad is this one gonna be?
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. Like I kind of look forward to Morgan Elspeth.
Well, it's like the Marvels was awful, but that was hilarious to watch and talk about. Like that was funny.
Hey, but that's why you gotta like me, Sinov, because I'll never be like, oh no, you're gonna hold your super. I gotta conform. Like I go off the cuff. I'm a fucking maverick. I do what I do. I'll never conform. Like my Andor video, I don't know if it was just Mash Brigade or what, but I got like 3% like ratio on it. Like I just got like mass hate watched on that.
It's funny. How many views did you get on that? At least for a while,
like 1,200, and I like over 100. Like 5.
My video after had like 600. My response to yours or whatever had like 600 views on there. Yeah, in like 3 days, and it could be more now. It could be at 1,000 now for all I know. But I do think that it's funny, like that that opposite takes got pretty good ones on Andor. Like, and these are well after it's been out. But that was fun. And for channels that don't really post much, really. So
let me look at this.
Interesting.
Let me see. It's a live one, right? Oh yeah. Okay, so you got 602 views. Let's see what the commentary is. Oh, you don't have any comments. What the fuck?
Yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't as much like interaction of like, yeah, you tell him, or fuck you, Angus is right.
I just got people like Andor is peak Star Wars. Someone's like, why does this YouTube try to push this nonsense to me? Stop uploading, big dog. Failed rage bait is fun. It's like, this was not rage bait at all. Like, this was just a straight take.
You're like calmly talking, chill. This rage bait. It's like, no.
It was like, this is a joke, right? It's not April 1st. You are late or early.
Yeah, there are a lot of Andor people that are retarded sometimes. Okay, that are a little too sloppy.
Avengers has aged very poorly, and it's hardly high art. I think there's a lot to criticize. Also, you not liking a show does not make it a failed show. By most metrics, it's a successful show.
Now, by saying it by most metrics, that's already kind of retarded. Like it kind of is or isn't.
Someone says you're wearing a visor of nostalgia over here. I said, it's okay. You can take it off now. See, it's not so bad. Avengers 12 is still a fun time, but yeah, even compared to Phase 3, and it's not even that. The tone was not aged perfectly, my brother. It's not the end of the world. Still a fun ride. Still great in its own right, but forget it. Touch grass.
Avengers is better than
Andor did more for storytelling in general than it even did for Star Wars itself. Comparing anything in MCU to Andor is like comparing a bag of peanut M&Ms to fucking the building of the city of Rome in real life. It's not even your vision that's the problem, and it's way deeper than that. I hope you get to enjoy this amazing piece of fiction one day somehow.
That was in your
I
comments.
will never finish this pretentious dog shit show.
That was in your comments. Jesus.
And then so it's like when you start watching, reading things that aren't solely superhero slop in Star Wars, you start to understand that the first Avengers movie, especially, is extremely rudimentary. No emotional core, cringe dialogue, basic choreography, unconvincing stakes, and what Iron Man was going to die moving a nuclear bomb from New York City. We were invested in 2 movies already with Iron Man. And then you get the ensemble. He's the leader and he's going to fucking die in space and just choke to death. Oh man, that was so like, no. And it's like, oh fuck. Last thing, it's sweet. Cool. Oh man. You know, like, but he, the whole thing was like, Iron Man is like, what kind of, how can I wiggle my way out of a problem? I can just make a tool for that. Like I can, you know, find a trick. That's Iron Man's whole gimmick in the series. And then he's confronted by this guy that will just die, no problem, for a cause. And they flip roles. And that's like the big overarching theme with Endgame at the end. To cherry on top is like they flip roles. Cap finds reason to live. Iron Man sacrifices himself, which he would never do before. You know? And so when you talking about emotional arcs and it's rudimentary. What? Like
it's like honestly, the Avengers has gotten better, if anything, with time.
The first Iron Man, he sees soldiers, he's just fucking off drinking, like, hey, it talks, it's a woman. Oh my god, you know, he's just so dismissive and flamboyant. And then like, you know, he goes through this trauma, and so he's like, I'm stopping weapons because I've seen Americans die by my own hand indirectly, you know. So till I figure this out, you know, he completely matures in the first movie. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, and when he's dying in the second movie, yeah, he gets a little immature, but then he's like trying to give away his, you know, stuff to Pepper, to Rhodes, to whoever, like a lot of good stuff. But I don't know, yeah, it's a funny conversations those were.
Someone said, "Holy right-wing grift slop," and I'm like, "How is anything I said right-wing?" And they never responded. It's just like they just showed me like, man, I should be like an actual like hate Andor channel. Too bad it's not worth my fucking time. Like, it's fine, but it
yeah, no, there's a lot of Andor fans there's a lot of smug Andor fans. That's true. There's a lot of
Davis must be an Andor fan then. That's what you're telling me.
I don't think he'd watch it. I think he'd think it's too boring. I don't think he'd watch it.
Yeah, he actually, I watched one stream when he's talking about jumping into Daredevil, was it Born Again? It's a good show. I can't wait for the next season. And he's just like, rightfully so, he's kind of complaining about the CGI at the start. It's like, yeah, that definitely is like, but what, you just gave up after like Foggy's dead? Like, what a great hook already when you're invested in the previous series. Like, what a good show. Even with its somewhat obvious like Trump, you know, 1-for-1, it does it well. I don't know.
But would Kingpin release the Epstein files or not?
Yeah, he would probably forge Daredevil into it, you know. Every moment that builds tension is immediately cut short with a joke, crypto, or something else nonsensical. Yeah, it's funny because people love crying about Marvel humor, but it's like, I think they still maintain an overall tone, even when it's like, joke, like, you know,
well, I guess like I was gonna say, like, again, in the 2000s comic movies, like there's a lot of goofy, corny stuff in those films, but they take themselves seriously enough for the most part, where when it's funny, it's sometimes just happenstance because of characters interacting. It doesn't feel like a Marvel MCU joke or something, which those were done well too back then. A lot of characters, a lot of stuff going on, but it was easy to follow and more coherent.
I take offense to this comic because it's like, whoa, I do not support Israel. What are you talking? I don't support terrorists. Like, where'd you get that from? But But yeah, soon I work the next 3 days, so I don't know if I'll squeeze one in, but I'm reading, catching up. I don't know how many. Let me look up really quick before Aliens versus Avengers. I'm really bad at reading, as in like I'm a slow reader and I have astigmatism, so reading comics is like literal eyesore sometimes to like follow the flow, because it's an open form. There's no set way to make panel to panel word balloons, etc. So I like them, but it's like hard to follow visually. And I'm a slow reader, so it's just doubles the irritation, and I have ADHD. So, but I'm finally getting around to reading Avengers, Aliens versus Avengers. Trying to see, okay, so it concluded a month ago. I'm trying to see how many issues, make sure I'm not missing an issue. Let me see. All right, so 4. There's only 4 issues. Cool. So yeah, I might do a take on what is at least the first volume of Aliens versus Avengers, which is amazing. 2 books in. I really love the Alien saga, especially with the prequels, Covenant and Prometheus. And I like, it's not the best, but I like with the new Alien movie, I wish I remember the name, Romulus, that they did not clean slate the controversial parts of the saga, but they kept the prequels and made it part of the storyline. So yeah, I'll probably try to do a review soon of these, because I think they're really good. The art's amazing, really cool storytelling, awareness of both Marvel and Alien franchise, and like Alien comics. So it's really pulling, like, a lot of the stuff that gets made in an Alien movie has been like conceptual tidbits from screenwriting and from comics. So it's kind of cool universe. But yeah, what's up, Maverick? Welcome back. Yeah. About to end though. Just gonna watch this video, then we're gonna get out of here. Present. Have some laughs before we go. Thank you all for being here. I know it's late or early, but I love watching this guy.
Man, get out of here. You're ridiculous. You just don't get it. No. Well, hey, I mean, at least we can agree that The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars. Okay, sure. That's just like how Jared Leto's Joker was actually peak. Yeah, no, I could see that. Because for me, LeBron, he's just not even top 10. Fair point. Because also, like, Japan, it's just not that cool. Nah, man, I think Japan's cool. I mean, yeah, no, it's not, actually. The whole place is fake and overrated. Right, right. Just like Halo 3. Nah, man, okay, leave the chief out of this. I mean, yeah, that whole story arc was pretty derivative. And stupid. So happy you're not offended. That's the thing with ribeyes, too. They should only be served well done. Yes, and the best part of ketchup is that first watery splooge. Sure, but let's get real, though, because Anna de Armas is a soft 5. That's valid, she's mid. And Radiohead isn't really that good. And butt stuff is like eating artichokes. It's a lot of prep, but for a little pleasure. Agreed. Just like how $5 is a very reasonable and fair price for a McChicken. Yeah, and like how golden retrievers are actually kind of mischievous. And Hellcats aren't that fast, they're just black. Season 8 of Game of Thrones aged really well. Every country should get a few nukes, that way everyone's scared to use them. Okay, that's just a fair take. Yeah, that one checks out. Same time next week? Sure. Little kissy kiss at the end? Always.
Friday Night Tights. Oh my god, guy's brilliant with those just stupid shit he makes up. Wait. Turn the Jedi's 4th. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Star Chase.
He's saying 4th best is what he's saying.
That one's tough actually, because it's like episode 3. I really love episode 2. Being older, I think when you're younger you can't appreciate it, but man, episode 2, there's so much there for the saga. It's probably the most important movie of the saga. Fuck you, Maverick. I'm gonna be stuck on that for a minute thinking about that. Anyway, farewell. Superman sucks. You're wrong, EVS. Go stream with Derek Butts. And see y'all next week at some point. I don't know because I work Thursday, but we'll figure it out.